Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
It's the Big O Show. Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Offense to the heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Lollipop, blow in the...
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Show O's on the radio, the top's where we gonna go, Miami, that's the way we roll.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
On the morning show, Big O, no one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk...
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Live and direct, because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Congratulations. All right, hold on a second. Let's see. Best he ever sounded. All right. All right. Now tell me if you have any sound now. You guys got sound? Give me the go on the chat board here if we got some sound. Tell me. Here you go. All right, there you are. All righty. Good morning. We are coming to you live, baby, from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. And we'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. Joe Shad will stop by with our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly insider report. And we'll get the latest on the Dolphins from him around 12:30. He'll tell us who's on the field, who's practicing, what's the deal. We'll talk a little offensive line, too. We'll find out what the hell's going on with the musical offensive line chairs with the Dolphins. We got a bunch of things to talk about. Franco Panizo also will stop by at 11:30. We are a complete sports talk show, so we do everything. So we'll talk about that debacle last night that they lost 5-1. And, man, Nashville is they've just been a better franchise from the moment that this thing started last year for both teams. Last year, right? Last year was the first year, right? Okay. Yeah, last year. I don't know. It just seems like it's longer. I don't know why. Right? It does, right? Well, it's because we worked there. All right. Anyway, so, it's just one of those things. But anyway, all kinds of stuff, of course. Welcome aboard to Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. They are a new sponsor and partner of ours on the show, which, by the way, if you are a Miami resident, if you're a Florida resident, got big discounts for you only this week here leading up to the end of September. This is the way you want to see Miami, by the way. It's actually a really cool thing. But anyway, so welcome aboard to Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures, sponsor of ours here. I see we got plenty of folks already on the chat board. Got a bunch of things to talk about. Chris Adams is already getting into crypto. Of course, it's climbing back. That's why when there was a dip, I took advantage. I got myself a little Cody at 28, 29, and 30 cents. It's already up to like 44 because it was already in the 40s. And then there was a dip. And, I got my initial Cody at 18. So my initial bag is already killing it. But I said, Cody's going to explode. So, yeah, man, that's I told you guys on this last dip, I took advantage. I got Cody. I got a little BitTorrent. I got a little Polygon. I got a little V-Chain. I added more and more and more because, there's no panic here. I know where this is going. October, November, and December, we're going to see this thing soar. And those of you that stayed strong throughout, you'll be able to pull some sweet profits down the line. So Rich V is in. He says, fellow Fins fans, let's rally behind Brissett this week and get a W on the road. Flores will have these men ready to play this week. Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up about Brissett. Wow. I'm not the biggest believer in Brissett as a starter, and I don't find him as a difference maker, but I do believe you can win with Brissett, and this team can win with Brissett. And last week was actually an example that you could at least stay competitive with Brissett. So I am completely in with Rich V on this one. What happens if Devontae Parker actually catches the ball? It wasn't Brissett's fault. He put it right there. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's in your hands. Catch it. Albert Wilson and was right there. They could have scored another touchdown. Jakeem Grant, you know what I mean? You were there for multiple scores. So you can move the ball and you can actually win with Brissett. In the 2 years that he started in 2017, he threw for 3,098 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. It's not this incredible touchdown to interception ratio. You're not going to get that from Brissett. You're not going to get 3-1 or 4-1 or 5-1 or 6-1. Like the elite guys are usually like 4, 5, 6-1, 7-1. It's like a ridiculous, TD to interception ratio. Now, in 2019, he threw for 2,942 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. That's 3-1 there. That's not that bad. That's actually half decent there. You're not going to get an explosive quarterback, as you can tell, because it's not like he has lit it up when he has played and been a starter overall. But you can win with Brissett. And if you can keep him somewhere in the 15 to 25 attempts range, where you get in trouble with Jacoby is if you start allowing him to throw the ball 30, 35, 40 times, that's when you're going to open yourself up to issues. And against the Raiders, you got to play great D, and Miami can play great D. I have no worries about that. They can hang and keep Miami. They can keep Miami in the game, but the offense is going to have to do their job. The line is going to have to try to find a way to get better. And maybe with people beating the crap out of them. I mean, you saw Jacoby yesterday in the press conference say, they want to get over the hump, so you guys stop writing articles about how terrible the line is and all that stuff. And so this is the funny part when they tell you, well, I don't read or I don't watch what's going on in the media. Get the hell out of here, dude. You all know what's going on. You all know what's being said. You turn on televisions, you read newspapers, online, whatever. You know what I mean? I doubt you're really listening to radio. Radio is not something that they normally listen to anymore. But more often than not, you're going to know what the media is writing about. You're going to know what they're saying on television, right? Local sports, national sports. They're watching 4, 6, 7, and 10. And they're watching all the anchors talk about how poor the offensive line is. They're watching on ESPN and Fox and CBS, and they know what people are saying about them. So maybe there's a little, motivation from inside that these guys have to show a little bit more pride and find a way to get it done. But you can win with Brissett. Line has to do their job. You got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to kind of control the offense. But it's all really up to the 5 hogs up front, because they're the guys that are going to be the key to giving Jacoby enough time to make a smart play. He's a solid backup for you. He's a guy that can fill in and help you out. Don't look for Jacoby Brissett to be the difference maker, but he, on his best moments, can at least facilitate. And he did that in that first half against Buffalo. He did his job. If everybody else had done their job in that first half, then I guarantee you we have a tie game where Miami is leading at halftime. And losing your quarterback and everything, as a Dolphin fan, you would have said, hey, man, things aren't too bad. I mean, hell, after this whole mess, we're back in the game. It's tied. We're leading at 3. You would have said that to yourself, and you would have said, okay, a debacle of a second half. And you would have already at least, but you ended up looking at it as 4 quarters because of the lack of plays offensively. And that puts you in just a terrible position. You know what I mean? So that's where if you're going to have Jacoby out there, then you need to make sure that he can actually help you and not hurt you. And the way he's going to help you and not hurt you, give him time to throw the ball, be able to run the ball. And Lord knows when he throws it to you, you got to catch it. You got it. This week is about trying to put the people on the field that are reliable. That's what this week is about right now. This week is about putting the people that are reliable for you, because you're still trying to figure out who are the 5 reliable guys on the line. But what I do know is Albert Wilson's not reliable. What I do know is Jakeem Grant is not reliable as a wide receiver. So give yourselves a chance, Miami Dolphins. Flo, offensive coordinators, give yourselves a chance this week. Put the people out there that can make plays. Don't hurt yourself by putting people out there that are irresponsible and cannot get it done, or they're not ready. As they used to say in Saturday Night Live, the not ready for primetime players, that's Albert Wilson. That's Jakeem Grant. You cannot put those people out there to hurt you. So make sure, and listen, if a certain running back has a problem blocking, then don't use him. Use him as a wide receiver, make sure, but don't put him back there where he has to pick up a blitzer. If you have a tight end that cannot block, like Adam Shaheen, and he's just going to play Matador there, don't put him in that position. Then you put Durham Smythe in there because he knows what he's doing. That's what you do. You know what? If you have to, bring in a second tackle. Line up Greg Little next to another one of those tackles on short yardage plays. Go with those elephant lines. Do things that are going to give you a chance to win the game. Jalen Waddle, got to get in there, got to make some plays. Will Fuller's back. Use him, not the aforementioned Wilson and Jakeem. Keep Jakeem on special teams. That's where he excels. That's where he is one of the best in the NFL. At wide receiver, he's one of the worst in the NFL. So it's poor coaching by putting Jakeem Grant out there. And if you use him, since they think you're crazy and dumb enough to throw it to him, because I'm going to have to say crazy and dumb, because it's not smart to use him as a wide receiver, use him as a decoy. Let him take a safety out of the picture. Let him take a dime corner, a nickel corner, whatever, dude. Whoever's out there that's covering him, use his speed to get him out of there, get him out of the blow the top out of the defense, and that guy goes with him, and now you've got more space underneath to work. Use your tight ends this week. Give yourselves an opportunity to win the game. Use people that you can count on the most. That's going to be the key against the Las Vegas Raiders. So those are two things that I would look at, whether it's Brissett or the personnel that you're talking about this week. And I could not agree with you more, Rich V. I am not going into this game with a lack of confidence at all, because I've watched Flo bounce back from worse. Because in 2019, that was worse because you had no talent. Okay? And you were getting your ass handed to you week in and week out for several weeks until you figured it out with no talent. You got talent now. Let's coach it up, put it in positions to be successful, be smart and aggressive. I know they're not going to go in there coaching scared, and I know they're not going to go in there playing scared. That's the good thing about Jacoby Brissett. While it may be a little misplaced, he has a ton of confidence in himself. Okay? He probably thinks a little higher of himself than what he really is, but that's good. It's good to have that. What you got to do, you know how you protect players from themselves and injuries and things like that? You also got to do it in your play. So you got to make sure you manage the game for Jacoby Brissett and don't put him in a position where then he cannot excel. Like getting into a shootout with Derek Carr. That cannot happen. This has to be a defensive game This has to be a low-scoring game. This has to be an ugly game. This has to be a win. That's what I say. And I know that Las Vegas has played really, really well the first 2 weeks. I still have a problem believing in them. That's the thing. I really do. I still have a problem believing in John Gruden. So I'm going to have to see it for an extended period of time before I believe it. But those are a couple things that I wanted to touch on, Rich V, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Jamie Zorrilla says, good morning. Another beautiful Thursday morning. I agree to that. Folks, don't forget to smash the like button. That is incredibly important when you're watching the show. Thomas Jensen says, good morning. Don Strock made a good point on Joe Rosa's show today. Why would quarterbacks not wear rib pads? He said he didn't understand that at all. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Now, I don't know if it's a mobility thing. I don't know if they feel it gets in their way. I don't know if they feel that they would look soft by wearing more pads or something like that. But if you're what's it called? If you're Tua, and I get it that you don't want to look at yourself that way, but Marino was pretty honest about wearing all the crap he used to wear, and he had boots and he had rib stuff and the shoulder pads and the arm guard and all that other stuff. He had a bunch of stuff, dude. So he had no problem protecting himself, and I understood it completely. I think I would take hits, and you got to get back up again. And if you're Tua, I'm 1,000% with Don Strock on that, if that's what he said about the rib cage protector. I think every quarterback should wear the rib cage protector. Why they don't? It's baffling to me too. I would have to think, considering how hard you can get hit and considering the kind of line you're playing behind. I mean, yeah, you should wear it, man. We should wear our seatbelts, right? You're not soft because you wear your seatbelt. You're super smart because you wear your seatbelt. Nothing wrong with protection. Now let's see if Tua can get a little smart on that area and wear his rib cage. Now he's going to have to early on because he's coming back from a fractured rib, and I don't believe he plays next week. Now let me explain to you what's going to happen on the rib cage situation. Okay, can I break this down for you? Because I think I kind of have a feel for flow already as it is. Jacoby Brissett wins this game and plays well. They will rest Tua another week and tell him, no, rest. We won. We're doing fine right now. We need you healthy back there, not favoring an injury, or we have to be extra careful because you're injured. I don't believe he'll play next week anyway. If he has a fractured rib, another hit, and you can puncture something, no, dude. I mean, Tim Tebow has twice the thickness of Tua. I mean, he's a freaking wall, and they punctured his lungs and broke his ribs. Well, the rib punctured the lung. And that dude's strong. That's how he ended his career with the Jets. Punctured lung and broken ribs. So I don't believe he'll play next week. I would think that would be irresponsible, that his rib has healed enough in a week that he's going to be able to go out there and take NFL hits. And here's the other thing. Behind that offensive line, you got to make sure that he's pretty healthy when he comes back, that those fractures are almost gone. So if it's going to take a few weeks, then so be it. Now, Jacoby Brissett stinks out the place this week against the Raiders, and they lose badly, and he's somewhat healthy. They might roll it out and say, you know what? Let's take the chance. Let's go. It can't be any worse than what we had this week with Jacoby. So Jacoby could determine how long you can keep Tua out, because if you're winning, it buys you time. It shouldn't encourage you to hurry your young quarterback back who doesn't have experience anyway. He's still learning right now. Jacoby knows way more than Tua at this point. Jacoby has seen way more than Tua and understands coverage is probably better than Tua right now at this level. So, IQ-wise, or experience IQ-wise, you're actually taking a step back going to, a second-year player who hasn't even played an entire season yet. So it really all depends on Jacoby how long you're going to keep Tua out. And we'll see. I mean, obviously that's going to be the big question about all of this. And this is actually a nice little stage for Jacoby also to kind of still prove to people that he can still be a functional and professional quarterback, and maybe others will take the chance on him down the line whenever he becomes available again. You know what I'm saying? But this is why you signed him, for these kind of moments. So let's hope that he can play well. The question is, how long can he play well for you? And then that'll determine maybe how long you keep out Mr. Tua Tagovailoa. All right? By the way, Marino Castillo, thank you, sir, for the super chat. Very, very kind of you. Big O, why didn't they put Tua on IR? Doesn't that mean he can play in the following 2 or 3 weeks? Saludos from Mexico. Thank you, Marino. I appreciate you, my brother. They must feel he can come back within 3 weeks. That has to be the case, my brother. That's the only thing that I can think of, that the injury in their eyes isn't enough to warrant to put him on those 3 weeks. So, I mean, that's the only thing I can think of right now. And remember, you're going to be able to put him inactive anyway, so he's not going to take an active spot on the game day roster. And you'll probably elevate Reed Sinnett for this game. That'll be interesting if he has to play. Wow. But yeah, your question is a good one. And here's the thing. I'm kind of telling you, I don't think he plays next week. So that's going to be 2 weeks right there that he's going to miss. So maybe you're better off just putting him on IR. Now, if you're not going to sign somebody else, then I kind of get it. And if you're not dying for that roster spot, and that roster spot by finding somebody else on any other position is not really going to make a difference, then it's not a big deal. So I guess that's why, though, maybe they also think, hey, maybe he could be ready after 2 weeks, and if we put him on the IR, we lose him for 3. So instead, because I don't think he plays next week, I just have a hard time believing that your first-round pick, number 5 overall, it's your quarterback, it's fractured ribs, you're going to take a chance with an injury-prone quarterback and put him out there. I just have a hard time believing that you're going to do that. That's the part that I have a problem actually justifying. You know what I'm saying? By the way, you see the board around me for Thriller Sports Adventures. And folks, take advantage this month through the end of September. You can get 50% off traveling around the Bay, checking out Miami Vice style, in the biggest, baddest speedboat tour you can get here in Miami. So if you live, hey, you don't know what you're doing today, you're hanging out tomorrow, next week. They don't do it on weekends. It's only Monday through Friday. Check out our friends at Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. You see the phone number there, 305-371-FAST, and you will be going fast. It's actually a really cool thing where you get to go through the, Star Island and all those areas and all that good stuff. So check it out. And if you do go, please make sure you mention that you heard it on our show, and tell the great folks at Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures that you want to have a little Miami Vice time, and you'll get that. So welcome aboard to Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. And it is a really, really cool thing. All right. Let me see what else we have here on the chat board, because we got a bunch of people that are chiming in. Big O, it seems like the Finns have a history of starting slow under Coach Flores. What's your take on this? Ray, they went 1-0 in week 1. I'm wondering, is that a slow start? 0-7, 0-2, now 1-1. This is the fastest start in the 3 years of Flores. I'm just, I always have fun with narratives, right? You create these narratives, right? That they're not real, and this happens all the time. And Ray, I love you, but how do you say this is the slowest start when this is his fastest start?
Everybody only remembers Buffalo right now.
Right, yeah. All they remember is like Buffalo's the only thing that just happened. And please don't tell me an ass kicking of 35-0. Do you remember 2019? When they lost like 8,000 to 10 in the first couple of games? Tuttle says, with Tua out, we need to shelve the RPO and run the ball down the Raider. Well, you can't do RPO with Jacoby anyway. So that is done. Tuttle, you're not fooling anybody with that one. You know what I'm saying? Not with Jacoby's big ass. You're not going to be able to do that. But yes, they do need to run the ball. I definitely agree with you on that one. Thomas Jensen says, should try to establish the run in this game. We have big guys on the offensive line, should try as possible to wear them down. Keith, and I forgot to get to elaborate a little bit more on this. He said it in our interview, and you can go back. We had Keith Sims on a couple days ago, and offensive linemen love to run the ball. They hate pass protection. Listen to me again. They love to run the ball. They hate pass protection. When they run the ball, they hit people. They try to drive them into the ground. They drive them backwards. When you pass protect, you get hit. You get rushed on. You are on your heels. You have to then save and with your strength and leverage just to fend him off. So there is a thing for offensive linemen. They love that. And you guys are on to something in a sense of you need to run the ball because maybe now you can develop an attitude. Even if you fail early on, you keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and stay with it. And give them a chance to come off the ball and hit somebody. Give them a chance to build confidence that oh yeah, I can handle this dude. But if you're constantly in pass pro and you're constantly getting hit, it's harder to develop that aggression. It's harder to develop that confidence. But running the ball is something, you know how they say in basketball that the guy keeps shooting a 15-footer and an 18-footer and a 22-footer and he keeps missing, right? And then they say, well, he's got to get closer to the basket and start having success up close and then start coming back. So that way the confidence starts and then you build the confidence as you get farther away from the basket. So he has a hard driving layup and he scores. He has an offensive rebound and he scores. And then all of a sudden you see him hit that 14-footer. And you're like, okay, he got in a groove now. He got a feel for the hoop and now he's, that kind of stuff. Same thing with the linemen. They've got to stick to the running game this week. They've got to be committed, absolutely committed to the running game. What did I tell you yesterday? The best part about Tua being out and that the offensive line is to blame while Tua is out is that maybe they can sit on that, they can simmer on that, they can marinate on that, they can get pissed off about that, and then maybe they can do something about it. And now they could go out there and maybe, hey, you know what? Enough's enough. We got our quarterback hurt. We need to do better than this. And I'm sure they watched the tape that after they got the quarterback hurt, they allowed Jacoby Brissett to get killed too. There was a Malachi crunch in that game for Jacoby Brissett. Watch Happy Days, and maybe you'll figure out what the hell I'm talking about for those of you that are young. So it's about confidence, and you build that by getting some success. And the best way to get success for them You got to run the ball, man. You got to run the ball and find and give them an opportunity to punch somebody in the mouth so they can actually feel good about themselves. And then the pass pro will get better if the run blocking gets better, because you will feel better about yourself. And remember, if you're able to run the ball, then your pass protection situations are going to be a lot shorter, because the down and distance is going to be shorter if you're having success running the ball. So it makes your life easier even in pass pro. What you don't want is 3 straight downs of pass pro, and you gave up a sack on first or second down, and now you're in 3rd and 17. And you've gotten your ass kicked for 2 downs, and now you're going to get your ass kicked for the 3rd down. That doesn't build confidence. That doesn't get them in any kind of a groove. So running will be a monster key here on this one. Lee Michael Morrison says, Big O, checking in from Hialeah. Greer needs more than hits than misses. ESPN in rounds 1 and 2, difference makers. Jackson, Igbenogany, and even Wilkins misses equals misses. I wouldn't call Wilkins a miss. The other two, I wouldn't call a miss either. I'm not giving up with people after 1 year. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. Because this is the same conversation after Gesicki, and I always bring it up because this is the recent history that we've had, and everybody killed Gesicki after the first year, and I told everybody it's his first year. Would you relax? And now nobody complains about Gesicki. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that. All this crap will disappear at the end of the year if these guys start to develop and play well. And all of a sudden, 2 or 3 of the linemen develop. You're going to go, oh, okay, well, yeah, I overreacted. Yeah, you did. I'm not ready to call these guys busts. I'm sorry. I know they're not making a major impact right now, but I'm not ready to call them busts. I just think that's unfair. Should try to no, let me see, what else do we have here? DF says, Omar, find me a game where Jesse Davis was the reason they lost. Oh, he didn't help this past week, that's for sure. He helped them lose this week. Let's not try to paint it any other way. He helped them lose this week. Sage McKinley says, Big O, hopefully we can get Jacoby to hold it down for us like Matt Moore did for Mahomes. That would be great. Mac Million 111 says, Austin Jackson is bad of a tackle in the league as it gets. Yeah, there's no doubt he is playing absolutely terrible right now. There's no doubt about that. Doesn't mean he can't get better. Rosendo says, good morning, Big O. Let's let Thursday morning bring you lots of smile and happiness. Go Fins. I have faith we will win Sunday. Trust the process. Remember, tune-up time 2021, title 2022. Got to stay with it, man. Big O, cheers from Syracuse, New York. Great stuff. Thank you, Christopher. Very nice of you. Mr. Majestic says they coach scared at last week when they went for it on 4th and 2 and only 7 first quarter. Why not punt then? Give them a short field, an easy score, which they did. Let's see. I mean, last week, I don't know if it's about scared or what worked last week, dude. When they threw a bomb, it didn't work. When they tried to go for it on short yardage situations, it didn't work. You know, the defense was inconsistent. First couple of drives, they allow Buffalo to do whatever they want. Then they shut them down. Then they come out in the third quarter and they allow a drive right away. I don't know what worked last week. Last week was just an absolute crap show from beginning to end, man. I don't know what would have worked last week. Some of you apparently can make Vince Lombardi look like a joke because, you know, you obviously have all the answers for all of this. Who's blocking Crosby this week? Andy, I think they're going to put you out there now, sir. That's what I'm told. So, Breakstone, if you don't come through, I just want you to know we're all going to rip you. Okay? So, if you can't block Max Crosby, Andy, I don't know, but Sean's already got like boo cards and all kinds of stuff for you. So, you know, Andy, let's go. Sharpen the skills, bro. Christopher says 2 out at least 5 weeks. Those fractures take way too long to heal. Reed Sinnott will see the field on Sunday. This O-line's going to get Jacoby killed too. Hard to argue or hard to say that Christopher doesn't have a realistic approach to it, right? Because hard to have faith in the offensive line. It's true. I hope it doesn't happen, and I hope Jacoby can survive the game and all that, but I get it if you don't believe in this offense. Herman thinks Tua will be out 3 weeks. I think he'll be out 2 to 3 weeks. I agree with you. I just think that they'll be... Now, remember, if Jacoby plays terrible, they might speed it up a little bit. Derek says, Big O, I think the Finns can go 3-3 up until the Falcons game. When we play Atlanta, I think Tua comes back. Hopefully the O-line plays better, and so does the offense. I'm with you, man. I hope so, too. Alex Diaz says, good morning, Owen. Folks, need to stop bashing Grier. There's so many positives that Grier has done, so stop with the bashing. Yeah, but the problem is, Alex, that, people panic. And they don't really take time. Like the gentleman earlier, what? Slow starts. And it's like, wait a minute, this is the fastest start in his 3 years. It's what they come up with in their minds. So after this game, they think the world is over. And yet they don't remember 2019 when it doesn't get any worse than that. And yet they found a way to make it better towards the end with no talent. So I have faith that Flo's going to get the max out of these guys. It's just a terrible week last week. But that's fine. Time will prove everything. Those that panicked, they will either be proven right that they panicked, or they will be proven wrong. That's the bottom line. And all of those folks that panicked will all say, oh, no, I trusted Grier and Flo. Oh, I knew they could get it done. And if they fail, they'll say, I told you so. They can't lose, those people, because none of us are really tracking what they say. You know what I mean? That's the difference. Within Nail 66 says, Greg Oden, Tua should be wearing everything possible to protect himself, including a different number in camouflage because of the O-line. Maybe, you know what we could do with Tua? You remember back in the day, what was it? Was it like the Jetsons where they had a force field? Right? It was the Jetsons? Right? So we need to, talk to George Jetson. And I don't know, maybe it's in the Sprockets company. I don't know, something like that. And we got to find out, hey, that force field, we need one of those. We need one for the quarterback. And then that way, Tua drops back, and as he's dropping back, whoop, he kicks in the force field, right? And guys are bouncing off the force field. They can't get to him. And he can find his guys and throw and all his, and nobody will see it because, the force field is invisible. So people think that they're like tripping up on their own or something, or falling back or something. Or they might think that when they run into the force field and fall back, they might think that Tua has bad breath. So I go, wait a minute, these guys are just falling back by themselves. What's going on? Then there's somebody on the sidelines going, guys, I was told Tua has not brushed his teeth all week long. So the defense doesn't want to get close. It's become kind of like a force field. But it's really a force field. They don't know. We know. Tua knows. But the rest of the world thinks it's bad breath. We can get Scope to sponsor it. There's a lot of directions we can go with this. We can call Tua the quarterback in the plastic bubble. We can have a lot of fun with this.
Putting sponsors on it, you're going to be able to see it then.
No, but Scope, bad breath. We're just going with narrative. It's all about narratives. Let's bring it full circle here, Sean. It's all about narratives. What's wrong with you?
It's all about narratives.
That's it. Our narrative is Tua doesn't brush his teeth. So he's got some stank breath, and defenders can't get close. But we all know, it's the Jetsons force field. George and the Sprockets were working, and, we got it going on. Now, we have to anticipate one problem. Bill Belichick. He films everything. He might have some kind of electric force field that will snap that thing. I don't know. You remember, if there's one guy that's going to cheat his way through that force field, right, it's got to be Belichick. So we got to watch out with that. So they already made the trip to Foxborough, so that's good, and they won. But now they're coming here eventually, and when they do, we have to heighten security. We have to make sure that nothing, all of a sudden appears, and then all of a sudden we see a 70-foot satellite that just opened up about 4 blocks away, and we're like, whoa, what's going on here? And he's trying to bounce something off the stratosphere to knock out the force field, and no. So we got to be careful with Belichick. Belichick's the one guy that could break that force field because nobody cheats like that guy. So there you go. Bad breath is the narrative. Force field is the secret. That's what it's all about. Joe Covillon, right? I think it is. When has Brissett ever been good? Why did the Colts replace him with Phillip Rivers and then Carson Wentz? If Brissett was any good, the Colts would have kept him. Brissett can't get nothing done. I guess Joe just tuned in. Joe, we actually do our homework here. Nobody's told you. By the way, did anybody say that he was like the second coming or something? I must have missed it. Are Dolphins saying he's the second coming?
No, I've heard nobody say second coming, but if you rewind back at the beginning of the show, you can find out what Big O said about
right.
Brissett.
That's right. Which, by the way, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 3,000 yards in 2019, which was a couple years ago. That's not a bad season, sir. I'm not telling you he's Tom Brady, but if you throw 18 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, that's 3-1. It's not bad. But again, narratives are he's terrible, sir. I get it, sir. I get it. He's completely incompetent. You cannot win. Nobody has said that he was the second coming. We all know dude, if he was a franchise quarterback, do you think he would sign to be a backup? Huh, Joe? Come on, bro. I get it. You're just dying to hate. You're just dying to throw in some negatives. You Dolphin fans, you're idiots. You think that Jacoby Brissett is going to unretire Marino's number, and we're going to trash it, and we're going to have a statue of Jacoby Brissett there. We're gonna take down the Marino statue. We're going to take down the Marino number, and we're going to put Brissett all over the place. Yeah, that's what Dolphin fans are doing. They're all saying that about Jacoby Brissett. Narratives. Thomas Jensen, Reed Sinnett will be active this week, and I would imagine next week, but longer than that, he's got to be added to the 53, which means they would have to cut somebody. Hopefully Tua will be back by then. Yeah, I know. What a shame it would be to cut Albert Wilson. Hey, seriously, let's not make it sound like there's 53 guys that you must keep on this roster. Okay? Let's not make it sound that way, all right? I don't think it's a hard decision to cut somebody on this roster. The 53rd man on this roster isn't necessarily a guy that, oh my God, we're never going to recover if we cut this guy. So Reed Sinnett, if you want to keep both of them active, you can still do it. What app do you use to buy crypto? Well, sir, it all depends, but I'm mainly a crypto.com guy. That's the one I swear by. That's where I have a lot of stuff staked. I like crypto.com. I use Voyager for BitTorrent. I use OKCoin for Miami Coin. What else do I use? I have eToro for little Cardano because they didn't have Cardano in the other ones, and I got it early, a while back. But normally it's crypto.com. I don't really, Coinbase I use a little bit. Actually, no, that's not true because I use Gate.io, and that's where I initially bought my BitTorrent at 18 cents. And not 18 cents, 0.00 0.18. I think that's what it is. And now it's 0.00 like 33. And so I bought a bunch of BitTorrent over on Voyager now instead of Gate.io, because Gate.io, you can't connect your bank account. You have to send coin there, so you have to pay, so you end up getting a service charge for that. So that takes away from your profits. But when I wasn't able to buy BitTorrent in other places or Cody, I bought it over at Gate.io. Now Coinbase started selling Cody, so I bought Cody on Coinbase. So all I have on Coinbase right now is Cody. And I got it initially. That's the one. I'm sorry. That's the one I got at 18 cents initially is Cody. And I know Cody's going to explode. So I ended up getting more at 28, 29, and 30 cents on Coinbase. Now it's at 44. I'm already making money on Cody if I want to sell it off. You know, I told you guys about it. I mean, it's not like you guys have all made money if you wanted to on all the stuff that I've given you. All of it. You could have waited. It peaked up and you could have dumped it and you would have made money on all the coins that I've given you guys. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money. I tell you what I do with my money and what I like to invest in. And BitTorrent, by the way, is a long-term hold. So just in case if any of you ended up getting BTT, October 31st, next month, they're going to have a major announcement for their mainnet. And that is going to, I think, jack the price then. And then I think 2022 and 2023 are the big years where you're going to start seeing more movement for BitTorrent. But again, it's one of those, that's a hold for a while. You got to buy it, let it sit there, and that's it. And it's gone down. That's interesting because on Gate.io, I ended up getting BitTorrent there initially. I'll tell you. Here it is. BitTorrent, I ended up getting it at 0.0039. That's what it is. And now it went down to 0.0035. So it's even lower. So what do you think I did? You load up because it went lower. Cody, I got it here at 18 cents on Gate.io, and now it's at 45 cents. So I'm making a killing on this one already because I've more than doubled if I want to sell, which I'm not going to sell because I think Cody's going to go, over $1 down the line. So I'm not worried. I'm not going to get flustered and wait. I'll tell you what, Theta, I was wearing a Theta hat yesterday or the day before on the show. It's down to 550. I find that to be an absolute bargain. But crypto.com for me is my favorite, is what I would tell you, sir. They've got most of the coins that you need there, and most of the ones that you would want to invest in. Let's see. Jameson Bruce says, I'm not bringing back against Tampa front seven. I'd give him 3 weeks to heal and bring him back for the London game. I like that, Jameson. I like that plan. That makes a lot of sense. A really bad team against Jacksonville, which gives them an opportunity to play against that, build up the confidence, feel good, and then, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Plus, it gives them time to heal, man. Tuttle says, yes, Flo said he was protecting Tua from himself. Yeah, I'm sure. There's no doubt. Leon Fresco, Big O, I haven't had a Dolphins jersey in 25 years since my Louis Oliver jersey. I decided to take the plunge and bought a number 5 Ray Finkel jersey. It will be timeless. I like that. A Ray Finkel jersey. Alex Diaz, all you people that have bashed Greer because of his picks don't know football. You guys are the same people that want Tannenbaum back. Big O, let's not pretend that the Finns are going to be 1-3 after week 4. I disagree with you. I'm not guaranteeing that they're going to be that bad, my brother. I think they can win this week. How about that? I'm not looking at the Raiders have played well, man. They've played better than what I thought, but it's still the Raiders. It's still John Gruden. Miami has a really good defense. They can make it interesting in this game. Herman says, Big O, I have a serious question. Why do you believe people have given up on Coach Flo and Greer already? I really don't understand. Because they have no patience, dude. and because they've suffered for, 20, 30, 40 years. Even in the Marino years, you didn't win a Super Bowl, right? And you haven't won a Super Bowl since the early 70s. So this is a volcano that has exploded for many years. Not that it's been holding it in. No, it's been pouring lava for years. All right, it makes the volcano in La Palma over at Canary Islands look like it's a little faucet, small little trickle of water coming out. Dolphin Nation is fuming for many years. So whoever takes over has no honeymoon. Whoever takes over, they have to get it done right away or they're quitting on you, man. That's just the way it is. There is no patience. That's why I said some of these folks don't get into crypto, because if you don't have patience and you don't know how to stay strong, you won't last in crypto. You'll lose all your money. Because you'll fold and you'll sell and you'll panic. And that's what we have now. We have a whole bunch of people panicking, and they look at the other guy that told me, well, why is it a slow start? And this is the fastest start they've had. Because all they think of is that one game, and that one game is what describes their entire lives. 35-0 for them brings back memories of getting your ass kicked in the playoffs with Jimmy Johnson. 35-0 brings back memories of an entire season of Cam Cameron, of Tony Sperano celebrating 3 points while everybody else is scoring 7. That's what this does to people. And when you have that situation, this is what you deal with. And this is what I've dealt with for many, many years now. And we're just not, we're not a patient society. And we're not a patient fan base. Period. George Luis Ochoa says, good morning. Oh, best show in Miami sports. That is very kind of you, sir. I appreciate you. Let Tua rest 3 weeks and bring him back for the London game. I like that. Jameson brought in. I think that's a great idea. Robin Mars says, I played O-line in high school, and even though it's high school, I love running the ball. Every lineman will tell you that, my brother. Everyone. Nate P, there we go. How come we didn't get rid of Greer yet? It's Blue Martini now, no more Cafe Iguana. Carlos Huerta was a nice kicker at UM. I don't know why that comment's there, but you are correct. Toto says that was a very good interview with Keith Sims. Thank you, Toto. Appreciate you. Darren Lee says, Big O for the next OC hire. I miss Eddie K talking about gambling, says Big Bob. Well, nobody was better at talking at gambling than Eddie K, my man. Miami Kid J says, I honestly think that Jacoby can lead this team to a win on Sunday. The drop-off from Tua to Jacoby is minimal, in my opinion. It might be a better move. It might be an upgrade right now because of the experience only. That's all. Jacoby's going to see things faster than Tua is right now. Tua's the better athlete. I think eventually he'll be the better quarterback, all of that. But right now, yeah, I agree. Jacoby is probably the better option at this point in time because of the experience. I agree 100% on that. Dotis says, I feel like linemen are too nice. They don't seem to have an edge to them. Again, it's just, I get it. They don't play well, and then all of a sudden you think they're wimps or something. What are you going to do? All I know is can't count on backup QB. All he does is take sacks. That's why the Colts and New England got rid of him. Yep, that's right. And he was terrible in that first half, wasn't he? Said he didn't do his job at all in the first half. Everybody else failed in that game more than Jacoby. But again, narratives, perceptions. You create whatever you want. Manzano says, with Tua being out 4 to 6 weeks, it's 3 to 6. Do we activate Sinet? They will. He'll be activated. Dude, they have to have another quarterback on the roster just in case this guy gets hurt. So yes, guaranteed they will activate him. James thinks that Tua is not out 5 weeks. They would have put him on IR. Breeze had 11 broken ribs and punctured lung and missed 4 games, and he was 40. It's not going to be that long. Yeah, I think it'll be 3 weeks at least. That's when I think he comes back. Big O on a gummy. LOL. I don't know. What is that?
That was during your Sprockets talk.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. You're in great form today, Big O. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you. I guess you guys enjoyed that little segment. Yeah, I went backwards, and I'm trying to catch up. That's why. Hank Goldberg's left nut says, as a backup, Jacoby is a 10. As a starter, maybe a 4 or 5. But to be fair, we don't know if Tua will ever be more than a 4 or 5 himself. That's why we're hoping the season would tell us. Hard to argue with anything that Hank is saying there because it's still the unknown. Big O, did you sleep at a Holiday Inn last night? I did. I've been taking this CBD stuff, this liquid stuff that is actually helping me sleep deeper at times, which is actually really cool because I have this sense like I wake up and it's like, wow, like it's one of those like, man, I was like in some deep sleep, you kind of feel like you were drunk or something. I haven't been drunk in forever, but you know how when you get really wasted and you go to sleep and you have that deep ass sleep, I've been doing that and the stuff is actually pretty damn good, bro. And somebody gave it to me and to try it. And it's hard for me to believe any of that stuff, to help you sleep unless you go do real drugs, and I don't like doing that kind of stuff. I don't like taking sleeping pills and stuff like that. I don't do that. So if it's not something that's natural, I'm not really going to try to. I'm not big on like I've told you guys before, like painkillers and all that stuff. When I busted up my shoulder or anything, any kind of operation I have, I just go through the pain. I hate taking painkillers. I just can't stand it. And so I mean, the worst thing I usually take are aspirins. That's it. That's the worst thing. The other stuff that I have to take for my, blood pressure and all that, I do that because I have no choice. But outside of that, I try to stay away from all that stuff. And this is really good, man. Now the first couple of days, I've only tried it for a couple of days. I need to try it for a few more, at least another week or two, and see how it really settles in with me. I think everyone needs to take a step back and remind themselves we could be Browns fans. I'm not taking any solace in any of that, dude. Right now, the Browns are in a better spot than we are. Okay, so. They got a better team right now than Miami. They got more hope right now than Miami at this point in time. Thomas Flores says, I've been a Dolphin fan for 50 years. I've seen everything from this team. I've seen perennial powerhouse and Super Bowl team and a perennial bad team. All I can say to Dolphin fans is be patient. I agree. I don't think right now you should be panicking at any stretch. Chris Mossing says CBD and some melatonin does not work for me at all. It does not work for me. I've tried all kinds of melatonin, does not work. This is the one thing that I've tried, and it puts my ass out a couple times a night. I'm not sleeping deep the entire night, but there are like 2 sessions throughout the night right now that I'm like, I fall asleep deep, dude. And when I wake up, it's like, whoa, like you want to you got to kind of gather yourself like, okay, all right, I'm up now. Okay. One of those kind of deals. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Are the speedboat sponsors on the screen? Well, yeah, I'm telling you, this is actually really cool. Yes. This is if this is a way of taking a tour of Miami, like you've never taken a tour before, go to their website. Check it out for yourself. Watch the videos, all that. Go visit them. You're going to get half off through September. All Florida residents, take your license, boom. And you get the thrill ride, and you get to haul ass on a speedboat and everything. It's really cool, man. And you get to go see the really nice islands and houses and all that kind of stuff that you won't be able to see normally up close. So go check it out, man. Thrill Miami Speedboat Adventures is actually like a really, really cool thing to try. If you've never been able, especially for South Florida residents, that you don't have a boat and it's not like you've ever done the big ass speedboat type deal. Well, this is your opportunity to do that, man. It's really cool. And 50% off. So just make sure you mention us. That's very important. Okay. Let's see. Jimmy 10 says, we have Raiders right where we want them. Big-headed, overconfident, licking their chops. Dolphins can shock and awe them and pull out a win. I think they can pull out a win. Big Gary says, I'm type 1 diabetic for 37 years, and CBD has brought my diabetes under perfect control. Yeah, CBD is an amazing natural source for a lot of things, pain and like you said, diabetes, and it looks like it can help me sleep. Yeah, definitely. I got to get the one for my dogs, for a couple of my dogs that are like too much energy, man. Like, mellow out, dude. Like, chill out. Like, Maiden is amazing. She's almost 5 years old now, and that dog still acts like a puppy, bro. So, wow, she has so much energy. It's shocking. She needs to be a stoner. Like, remember that frame that people have that dogs are playing cards and they're smoking cigarettes and all that. I wish that my Maiden could roll up her own big ass doob and just hit a doob and just chill out, bro. Sometimes, because she's got the energy. Damn, dude. I mean, amazing. So maybe I need a little CBD for them because I know that can calm them down a little bit. Joel Burr says, oh, do you remember Oronde Gadsden? Sir, I covered him. Yes, I was the beat reporter in those days. Did you ever interview him? Can you tell us something cool about him? I broke the story that he was holding out, that he wasn't reporting to camp. First day. I've told this story before. Jimmy Johnson signs him, right? And we're in training camp. And so I was the beat guy in those days. I was there every day. And that was the teams that I covered back in the 90s and in the early 2000s. And they signed Oronde Gadsden out of the Arena League, the Portland Fire Blazers, Fire Dragons. Can you give me the name of that? What is the official? What was the name of the Portland Arena Football League? Arena football team. It's like Portland Fire Dragons, I want to say it was. I remember Oronde gave me a Fire Dragons. Huh? No, it's old. So try putting 90s Portland Arena Football. And then it should come out. It's Portland Fire something or some crap like that. No? Anyway, he'll find it there. Or maybe Oronde Gadsden's Wikipedia should have it, actually. That would actually would be better. So they signed him out of the Fire Dragons, I think it was called, or something like that. And we think, listen, training camp fodder, just another body, this, that. And first pass was a touchdown to Oronde Gadsden. He goes up in the air, he skies, he grabs the ball, and he lands. And the out-of-bounds marker is here, right? His feet land right here. I mean, perfectly right inside the corner.
He was with the Frankfurt Galaxy and the Portland Forest Dragons.
Forest Dragons. There you go. See? Fire and Forest. That's the only thing I got wrong. Okay. So I wonder where that hat is. I know I have the hat. I know Oronde really well, man. I mean, I can call him now if I wanted to. Not that I'm going to do that, but I'm just saying he's a really good dude. And so right away we're like, oh crap. And we wrote the name down, and the rest was history from there on out. From there on out, he was a playmaker, and he was making plays every day. Couldn't run. He was running slower than molasses, but you couldn't cover him because you were right next to him and he was going to catch the ball on your ass no matter what. And with his big hands, you weren't going to take it away from him. Great dude, by the way. Tough as a mother. because not only he was messed up too, man. He messed up all kinds of things. His toes were all screwed up. Remember, they used to say he had the toes of an 80-year-old man. Yeah, Marino messed up one of his fingers. Yeah. I mean, but Marino immediately counted on him. Immediately, dude. Like the second he got there and he started making plays, that was Danny. That if you could come through for Danny, he would definitely use you. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Let's get off hour number 2 here. We're coming to you live from Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. Come on out here, man. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Come on out and say hi. We'll be out here for a couple of more hours. And don't forget to visit our friends at Thrill Miami Speedboat Adventures, 305-371-FAST. This is the way you want to see Miami. This is a really cool thing. And Florida residents, all the way through the end of September, so you only have one more week. It's today, tomorrow, and next week, only weekdays, Monday through Friday. Look, it's a beautiful day, man. Go out there. Check it out. 50% off. So they've given you a big discount so you can take a speedboat tour all throughout Miami there in the coast and the bay, which you're absolutely going to love. All right, we'll take a break. Back with more right here on the Big O Radio Show.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner, Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
This is the Big O Show.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zins Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Hey, welcome back. Hour number 2. Appreciate all of you out there. Thank you for supporting us as always. We are coming to you live, of course, from Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines. So come on out here, 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines, and they have plenty of inventory. They've got lots of certified pre-owned vehicles, so if you're looking for a certified pre-owned vehicle, they can take care of you. If you're looking for a new model, they've got all kinds of models, colors, styles, all kinds of stuff. Great interest rates going on right now, so they will make you a deal. And remember, if you come on out here to buy or lease a vehicle, mention the show. Please mention the show. You go to Caneswear, mention the show. You own a business and you want to fix that warehouse of yours and you want to get the best racks in the business and you call Pallet Rack City, you mention our show. Okay, that's Sports Grill. You go have some wings. Hey, man, you guys got to keep sponsoring the Big O Show. And give me more wings.
Forgot in the chat, somebody asked, what are your go-to wings at Sports Grill?
Oh, special grilled. Always. Special grilled, bro. I don't need anything more than special grilled. I do that. Yeah. I know you're the...
I'm special grilled barbecue garlic.
Right. Exactly. I'm special grilled. For me, that is more than enough for me. And Hank, yes, Hank is doing great. He's in Vegas, plunging his guts out every single day. Where else should Hank Goldberg be, dude? You know what I'm saying? He should be in Vegas. So yes, he is still with us, thank the Lord, and he is having some fun out in Vegas. So he's a good dude. Actually, he's probably one of the most misunderstood people that has ever been on radio, because he came off like an asshole a lot of times, and then off the air, he was one of the biggest menches you'll ever meet in your life. Huh? Why? You had a different experience?
No, I produced for him.
Oh, okay.
I was over at 640.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
On the Sunday shows when he did it from the casinos.
Okay.
Yeah, it was quite an adventure.
Oh, of course. It's always an adventure.
You never knew when he was going to come back on. You could tell him you're live, but he wasn't coming back on.
Right, yeah. At that point, yeah, I'm sure at that point, he was like, 640, you're lucky to have me. I'll just give you some of my time or something, that kind of stuff. He's already made at
there's
that time.
A lot of talk during the breaks.
Yeah, definitely. He is, like he was rough with me at times, like on air, right? And we'd have our battles, Hank and I. But if there was ever an issue that I had or something, the first dude that would call me was Hank. All the effing time, dude. Hey, what can I help you? What can I do, man? Hey, no, you're right, they're wrong, and this, that, whatever. Mandich was like that too. When my contract would come up, the Mandich would always tell me, kid, you want me to take care of that for you? I can help you. Make sure they don't take advantage of you. And all that. It was just one of those things. But Mandich came off differently on the air. So you probably viewed him as a good guy already. But Hank, he was cutting people's nuts off on the air. He was, just talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. He was going nuts. He, sometimes he sounded like an ogre and he was mad and all that. And listen, I'm sure producing for him on a daily basis could have been a challenge for people, obviously. You know what I mean? But still, when there was an issue, that was the first guy that was going to help you, believe it or not. And that's where, like, I think he's incredibly misunderstood at times. He's a good person, man. He actually is a good person. At least that's how I can speak of him, because that's what I know of him. And this is and I'm talking about a guy that I had my disagreements with Hank. Okay, it's just no doubt about it. It happens sometimes on air, back in the day, if any of you remember. But yeah, but he was always there in my corner whenever I needed something. So I can't say anything bad about Hank. Let's see, what else do we have here? Big O, if Austin Jackson struggles again early, I think he will be benched. Kick Hunt out to tackle and Eichenberg on the other side and move Jesse inside. I don't know what the machinations are, Miami Kid J, because at this point I don't know what the hell they're going to do. But I do agree with you on this. They are reaching their tipping point with Austin, and like, okay, kid, you better start turning the corner, or we can't afford to keep you out there. It's one of those things. This guy will bench anyone. I believe Flo will bench his mom if she was struggling at any position out there. He's about winning. So he's going to only give you a certain amount of, rope. And then at one point or another, if he thinks you can't handle it, he's going to pull you and he's going to get somebody else in there. And then maybe he'll come back to you and give you another shot. But you're going to lose your opportunity. And there's no doubt in my mind, I'm with you 100%, that if Austin Jackson continues to struggle, even in this game here against the Raiders, I think he could be replaced in the second half by somebody. Now, here's where I disagree with you. If it happens during the game, they're not going to do all the switching. You've been game planning all week. You've been practicing all week one way. What they'll do is they'll bench him and then they'll put Greg Little in there. You know what I'm saying? They're going to put somebody in there to play left tackle. They're not going to make all kinds of changes, because if you do that, that's crazy as it is. I don't like all these changes that they're doing. And I get it. They're still trying to figure out who's who and where and what, but nobody is excelling anywhere. So play them more to their natural positions and then let them fail, like truly fail. And then you'll know, because if they can't, put it this way, if you can't succeed in your natural side and your natural position, then how the hell are you going to start succeeding in other places? You know what I mean? So I personally don't like all this whole stuff. I'm with Keith on the whole musical chair stuff. You got to settle down, man. You got to put somebody out there. Joel says, and thank you, sir, for a little love on the super chat. He says, love the show, keeping it real, man. Thanks for sharing the Oronde Gadsden story. Dude is one of my all-time favorite wide receivers. Hope he's doing well. He is doing well. He's a good dude, man. Oronde is one of the best human beings you'll ever meet. Yeah, huh? Oh, his son's at Syracuse? Okay. All right. There was a quarterback years ago, but it wasn't Gadsden, but it was kind of a name like that, if I remember correctly, at Syracuse. But anyway, so that's cool that his son is at Syracuse. I wonder if what does he play? Wide receiver also? Wow. I hope he has his dad's hands. Oh, if he has his dad's hands, then he passed it on, bro, because that is a gift to be able to catch like him. Cap for Life says, yeah, man, I have a thick skin from being raised with a sob pop who loved tossing haymakers. You guys were a trip, man. And by the way, thank you again for the support. We're up to 1.3 million downloads in the last 30 days. Huh? Oh, 28? Oh, it's 28? I was just told 1.3 million in the last 28 days. That is just 70,000 downloads yesterday on a Wednesday. Okay? I mean, it is, thank you all out there. That's how we're going to grow. Smash the hell out of that like button. That's how we're going to grow. Share the link. I mean, I can't say enough about what's gone on with this show. We are producing the kind of numbers. Nobody's doing this on any radio station locally. Not even close. Okay? Not even close. We're downloading 5-6 times more than any show that's on 560 or 790 per day. More than 5 or 6 times, maybe. I mean, it's what you guys are doing. I can't say enough about what you guys are doing for us. And the YouTube numbers are now exploding now because we're starting, obviously to rebuild we're starting to build the YouTube side of this whole thing. The audio side is already killing it, but now we're building it up on YouTube and we're approaching 6,000 subscribers. So that's the other thing. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because we want to get to 6,000. Let's get to 10,000, man. Let's build this thing up. I love it, man. So thank you all out there. Appreciate you immensely. Aronde Gadsden, great person. Met him a couple of years ago at a season ticket holders event. Had a convo with him about his playing days. He was also great to my son. I shared a pic with you. Well, thank you, Alex. You sent it to me. I will definitely check it out. He's a great guy, man. He's a great guy. Troy says, you deserve it, oh. Your hard work is paying off. Congratulations, brother. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I think it's kind of become the perfect storm that radio's, pretty much close to dead already. And the world of digital is people are adjusting more to going to YouTube for downloading all those kind of things. And they're getting used to getting in their cars and pulling up their favorite podcast, whether it's Joe Rogan or anybody else that you love out there, Eddie Trunk or whatever, or hopefully our show. And we see the numbers, drive time numbers, morning and afternoon drive, they explode. I mean, it is a sick number. So thank you all out there. Big time. Alex Hennis says, I was at Gulfstream when AP Indy won the Breeders' Cup in 1992. I like it. Let's see. Pena says, like button smashed and destroyed. There we go. Gary Scott says, Big O, did they elevate Sinet from the practice squad? They are, sir. Yes. And just wondering your thoughts on him. I saw a little something from him. Yeah, I know it was against third stringers and cup player. I like him. Dude. I like him a lot. I like what I saw out of Reed Sinet. Now, can he play at the level that is not third stringers and in the NFL level? I don't know. Can he make the same kind of quick decisions and have the kind of moxie he had back there in the pocket? I don't know. We got to find out. But fundamentally, I like what I saw from Reed Sinet. There's no doubt. I like what I saw. It's just a matter of, can he do the other thing? Is take it to another level. That's the question. Pat in Nashville says the squeeze set list from last night was tight. What did you think? Pat, you're going to kill me. Didn't go. I was going to go and chose not to. So, yeah, I missed out. But I saw the set list, and it was awesome. I will have to catch up with them on another day. Roy in St. Louis says, love the show. Can you say what your schedule normally is? 10 to 11, 10 to 1, sir. 10 to 1. Normally. Wednesdays is a special day now because we have Inside the Paint, and normally it was 10 to 11 in the morning, but now it's going to move up to 9 a.m. So on Wednesdays, I'll start off at 8:30. So Wednesday's the only day. Outside of that, it's always 10 to 1. And listen, guys, Twitter, Big O Show. You follow on Twitter, you see everything there. I answer questions there. You can check it out. You can see the schedule. You can see the segments. You can find out where we're going to be at. You would have seen the tweet that we were going to be here at Acura, all of that stuff. So Twitter is a great way of keeping up with the show because, whether it's Sean or myself, we'll post all that stuff there on Twitter at Big O Show. So right there is the best way to keep up with us. But usually it's 10 a.m. every day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday's the only day that we go in a little earlier. And then obviously Sunday, it all depends on, what time the Dolphin game is. We're on 2 hours prior to the Dolphin game doing our pregame show. I don't like Rogan anymore. He's sold out. Okay. I don't listen to his podcast. You know what I do with Rogan? I watch it on YouTube. And so they'll put on segments on YouTube. Like the other day Billy Corbin was there. So there were a couple of different segments with Rogan and Corbin, and I watched them. That's what I'll do on YouTube. I'll watch some segments. I don't necessarily go straight to his podcast. And Sold Out, I have no idea what you mean by that, dude. Oh, Spotify?
I believe he went to Spotify or one of them. He went to another platform.
So you hate him because he has to make a living, and they offered him a boatload of money, and and so he should do that. From what I can tell,
I believe that's what he's meaning. I'm not wondering
if that's what it is. Okay, that's pretty bad because again, I'm not big on people hating others because they're bettering themselves. That to me is a sin in life, actually. To be honest with you, the material sounds the same. It's just.
I think it might be a little bit watered down because of going to the new platform. I believe.
Really?
Just a little bit, not much, but a little bit.
Wow. Okay. I don't. I don't watch it every day, so I'm not a good judge of it. You know what I mean?
I barely watch it. Not gonna lie, but
But why would you change for Spotify? If you were on iHeart or something, then I get it. But Spotify?
But also, I think it goes with certain sponsors getting tagged into, again, making the money.
So he's not going to smoke weed on the air with Elon Musk anymore. Is that what you're saying?
We'll have to see.
Well, that's legal in some. That's legal, and
I guess.
I mean, we can't look at people that smoke marijuana anymore. Like, oh my God, look what he's doing. Look what she's doing. It's legal, bro.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it before. But
yeah, I know, but still, like,
give
me a break. I don't know. I don't know what watered down means, sir. Joel Burr says he hasn't watered down at all. All right. I'm not an expert on the Rogan stuff. I watch it, periodically when I run into a good segment on YouTube that they put it up, then I'll watch it. But, it sounds the same to me, but again, I'm not good. It says he took shows off air. He removed shows. Okay. Big Bob says, when is Hialeah Park getting sports betting? I don't know, sir. Your guess is as good as mine. Are they getting sports betting? All right. That's interesting. I can't even get them on Spotify. Why not? He's on Spotify. How can you not get Joe Rogan? Dude, you can get our show on Spotify. You can get Joe Rogan. Big O, you're a success story. Now that you have moved to the future, you're an inspiration to me to try to podcast and get something, get in on some crypto. Thanks, brother, for what you do. A lifetime of listening of you worth it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Now, remember, I am not a financial advisor. All right. I am just a radio host that loves crypto. All right. That's all I only tell you what I do with my money. Okay. I only tell you the coins I like and the deals that are out there that I feel are still out there. All right. I still encourage you. I implore you. I beg you to make sure you do your own homework when you invest in anything. All right. So when I tell you VeChain because I love it, do your own homework. If I tell you I love Polygon, and you should stake it, by the way, at crypto.com because that's what I do because you get 10% on crypto.com. You know what I mean? And so, when I tell you I like something, it's what I do. What you do with your money, you choose to do whatever you want. But I'm only going to give you what I like in crypto, and then you guys can decide on your own. I hope you do. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here on the program? The shows removed from YouTube and Spotify were big tech oligarchs censoring him. Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, man. More power to him, bro. The dude is a monster. He has turned that show into the biggest podcast in the world right now. He gets more downloads than anybody else. I wish him the best. He does an awesome job. It's a fun listen. You don't have to agree with everything he says. I don't agree with everything he says or does or whatever, but it's entertainment, man. And I have no problem with it. He does a good job with the interviews. I like the show. I like the show when I run into it, but I usually stop when it's a guest that I like, and Billy Corbin had a lot of really good stories on that one, by the way. Nice job by you, Billy. I should get Billy on. I should call him and get him on. I can get him on the show and have some fun with him also. NorCal says 5 p.m. Saturday, 50 or more Fins fans will meet at the Welcome to Las Vegas sign, 5200 Las Vegas Boulevard South. Look up Brian Carroll and Las Vegas Dolphin Club on Facebook. I'd give you his cell number, but he doesn't allow me to do that. Okay. Brian has my cell. He's a good dude, man. Let's see. Roy says, I'm afraid Sinnott will be that third stringer under Gase. Davis something, I believe, looked great on preseason, did nothing when Gase gave him the chance in the final game. Who knows, my brother? You never know what he's going to look like. You know what I mean? Big O, you still feel good about Fins getting to 10 or 11 wins? Yes, I do, sir. I still feel good about that. All right? Give me a few more weeks to not feel good about it. Then maybe I'll tell you I don't feel good about it. But I'm not giving up after game 2 and they're 1-1. I think they can win this week. I'm sorry, I don't fear the Raiders that way. I count on this coaching staff to figure out a way to be competitive and even try to win that game on Sunday. I know it sounds crazy, and you can call me crazy on the post-game show, but I still have confidence that this team can have a winning season. And I think Jacoby, like I said earlier, if you keep him within that right window, you've got a chance. I believe you've got a chance to at least win this game. So we'll find out. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, hopefully Joe Schad is going to join us, and we'll get into a little Dolphins conversation with him and our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report. We do that next, right here on the Big O Show, live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Sports fans love a place with great food, cold drinks, and TVs everywhere. That's why sports fans love Sports Grill and their 7 amazing locations. Check out the Bird Road location at 11481 Southwest 40th Street in the back corner of the West Bird Shopping Center. Sports Grill is also now offering some great employment opportunities. All kinds of positions are now available, from kitchen to hosting. Call for more information at 305-485-8845. From wraps to salads to amazingly delicious specialty dishes, Sports Grill is the home to the legendary special grilled wings. Since 1987, Sports Grill, good food, good drink, and good friends.
This is the Big O Show.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Will join us at 12:30 in hour number 3. We're going to talk a little football right now, but we're going to talk a little football. Not that Inter Miami was playing football last night. That was kind of ugly last night. My man Franco Panizo was there. There weren't a lot of people in the stands either, also, as the boys fell 5-1. Franco, they've been outscored 9-1 in the last 2 games. Is the run over? Was that an aberration, what went on for a couple of weeks with the boys?
Well, I mean, the run's over just by obviously the last 2 results. They're now on a losing streak. But look, during the good run of form that they had, there was a lot of good things done. Defensively, they were a lot more solid. They became tougher to break down and to beat. That allowed them to be more competitive because they were in games for longer periods and they were able to find ways to win. However, the performances, at least on the attacking side and with the ball, weren't all that great by and large in much of those matches. And some of them they pulled out very late. Others, they got opportunistic finishes. It wasn't like they were playing this great quality brand of soccer. They were just finding ways to win. That's, there's merit in that. That's obviously a positive. You can find ways to win even when you're not playing your best. But, it wasn't a sustainable formula for success. Now, obviously, going from winning games 1-0 to getting blown out again 4-0, 5-1, that's obviously there's a pretty big difference there. So, they have to get back to at least that defensive solidity to have a chance to not only start winning games again, but obviously make the push for the playoffs that they're looking for.
Yeah, but you also got to play smart too, because some of their defenders also do some dumb things too. And Gregory yesterday, that was you didn't need to do that, dude. I mean, the game's out of hand already at this point. Why do you want to commit the penalty? And now you're now you lose them for another game, and it's just I just that's one thing that I will say, and especially with Gonzalo's Pires, that dude. While he has his moments as a defender, he makes a lot of just mental and frustrating errors. And he's one guy that I'm not a big fan of, to be honest with you. And Figal kind of disappointed me the other day too, with that penalty also. And that's not normal for him, not like it is for LGP, that he seems to commit the dumb penalty all the time. And Gregory, as a captain, last night, that was also disappointing considering where that game was at.
So what I would say is, look, it's been a frustrating season in general, by and large. And, those players are tasked with, right? Their duties, their responsibilities are to defend and help break things up. Now, obviously, you're not looking to earn yellow cards, but it's part of defending. It's part of breaking things up. There's attackers that create and defenders that destroy, and part of destroying at times is getting cards. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of cards for at least Leandro Gonzalez Pires and Gregory.
There's enough cards that they actually should be over at the Hard Rock dealing. Okay, that's how many cards those guys have. They have enough to stack 5 decks inside.
I think they have 21 between them, if I'm not mistaken. So they can play some blackjack.
They have more than enough for the shoot in blackjack. I'm telling you, they picked up enough.
I like that. But look, I mean, yes, could they cut down on some? Absolutely. Especially, the last one Leandro Gonzalez Pires got in the Friday night game against the New York Red Bulls. He gets one for just yelling at an opponent that had fallen on the ground, just a sign of frustration. Rushes of blood to the head happen on the field. However, he's a more experienced player, more veteran player, and he should know better than that. It was unnecessary, and obviously they missed him like they missed Figal in this one. But yeah, I mean, from front to back, it wasn't good overall for Inter Miami. We'll see. I mean, Gonzalo Higuain showed signs, but besides that, there weren't that many good performances, I thought.
Yeah, no, and listen, with Gonzalo, unless you have great midfield play, you're never going to get the max out of Gonzalo. I'm sorry. He's not dynamic enough. He's not the kind of athlete you need, that he can dribble through a bunch of guys and set himself up. That's not who he is, unfortunately. He's going to need some help. But one of the guys that was there to help him, supposedly, and you really needed him last night, was Pizarro. Your thoughts on his play last night?
So he had his moments, like sparks, but not enough. Not enough for your number 10, not enough for one of your more creative players. I think it's been an extension of his season by and large. He did combine obviously really well with Gonzalo Higuain, not only on the goal, which was a nice 1-2 pass in a central area that Higuain finishes well, but Pizarro also hit that pass over the top. It looked like he was passing to Julian Carranza, but Gonzalo Higuain made a run in, and Higuain took the ball. He said it's mine, and then he shot the ball and hit the post there in the first half. So he was involved in some of the more dangerous opportunities for Inter Miami. Pizarro was, but again, just not enough. You have to sustain those performance levels for longer periods, not only individually but as a team. And Pizarro, most of the squad did not do enough of that, and has not done enough of that this season. Look, and I've said this to a few colleagues, and I'll say it here. I think this is not information. This is just my opinion. What I see from the outside. I think Pizarro initially, he was the guy, right? When we met in Tampa and he scored in that friendly, and then the season started, he was the guy. He was the guy that everybody turned to. He was the lead figure on the team. During the season, he's still, at the beginning few games, he still, had a decent level to him. He was scoring some goals, making some things happen. Even continued a little bit after that, after the MLS's back tournament. You remember he scored the goal, and then he posted with the cardboard cutout when there was no fans in attendance.
Right.
So I think even before Higuain, though, his form started to drop a little bit. But then once Gonzalo Higuain came, And Gonzalo Higuain now became the lead figure because he's Gonzalo Higuain. He's played Argentina's national team, the biggest clubs in Europe. Once Gonzalo Higuain became, I don't want to say the alpha male, but once he became the lead figure, el referente, as we would say in Spanish, I think that kind of made Pizarro not feel like he could fully express himself and play like he wants. And I think that's part of why we haven't really seen them combine as much as we want, or as much as anybody wants. If you look at the stats, last night's goal was the second time this season they have directly combined for a goal in 2021. The last one was the Pizarro goal against Toronto FC, I believe it was, in August. So they've only combined directly for a goal twice. They've helped other people set goals up, et cetera, et cetera. But between themselves, it doesn't seem like the chemistry and the understanding is there, which is not a good thing because you usually want your striker and one of your more creative midfielders finding one another, like they did last night on a couple of occasions. So
yeah, I mean, you would figure that he would actually be happy about this, because unless he has the attitude that he wanted to be also the goal scorer of the team, then if there's a little bit of ego because of that, then that's his problem. But he really could benefit in multiple ways by using Higuain and becoming a better setup guy, because he also could get himself out of here if he plays better. And that's also, if you want to out of a place, sometimes maybe the best thing to do is play your best, because that could open up the door for you. But if you don't play well, then you're not sexy to anybody else, and then you're having problems with your own team at the same time. And that's kind of, it's been one of those things. It's been really frustrating with Pizarro. It's just something that we're never satisfied with what we see from him, because it's always like you just talked about. There's little flashes here and there. So there are little teasing moments, but there aren't enough of those convincing moments, in other words.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Excuse me. I would agree with that. I think, he doesn't transmit on the field that much of a confident player anymore. Like before, in the beginning, I don't know what your opinion is, Big O, from watching him play in those first 5 games of the MLS season and in that one match in preseason. Different player. Right. It just looked like he was transmitting something different on the field, just looked like a more confident player. Now I feel he's kind of like, he kind of hides a little bit. He kind of hides a little bit. Like he looks for the ball.
Dude, he's submissive. He was a bull. He was aggressive early on. He took on the challenge, and he played with this hunger. And then now you see him, and it's kind of, he's passive. He's just allowing people to, take over, and then he's not being enough a part of it and all that. It's a different attitude that I've seen from that guy from that first couple of months to where he's at now. Night and day.
Yeah. And again, I think it has to do with Higuain and Higuain's presence and Higuain just being the guy. Look, there's been at times this season. I just did a piece last week on Miami Total Football. You can see it there in the game against. I'm blanking on which game it was now, but in one of the most recent games, you see
Toronto, right?
It wasn't Toronto because Higuain wasn't on the field. It might have been the Columbus game.
Okay.
No, it was either it might have been the Columbus game. It's either the Columbus game or the Bulls game, but I think it was the Columbus game. Anyway, in that game, they both take up similar positions often. They both kind of it looks like almost like they're marking each other. Like one plays for the other team, the other one plays for Inter Miami, because they're so close together. The spacing between them, they like to take up similar spots, and obviously when you're taking up similar spots, only one of you can get the ball, so they kind of cancel each other out in that way. And like you said, I think with Gonzalo Higuain's presence and who he is and how he is, I think maybe that's kind of made Pizarro a little bit more introverted and passive on the field, and being like, all right, well, let's defer to him. He's the guy. There's different dynamics that go at play, but again, this is just my sensation from the outside, my opinion for why I think one of the reasons why I think it hasn't really clicked between the two of them. I don't know if there's any problems behind the scenes. I don't think so. I haven't heard anything of that. Just think that maybe their field and their understanding between one another is just not the best.
All right, follow him on Twitter, Franco Panizo. More importantly, You got to listen to Miami Total Football. He does a great job of covering this team and giving you every angle. So listen to the podcast. Great listen at Miami Total Football. Franco, two things before I let you go. One, what's also disappointing for as an Inter fan is watching Nashville and how well they've put their team together, how organized they are, how well coached they are, how well balanced they are. Also, it just seems like they have done everything right. You know what I mean? And it's not necessarily about grabbing headlines. It's about the game itself and putting together the team that they need. Whereas, you know, with Miami, we've had more of the hype and more of the other stuff that goes with it and more of the fluff. And this team doesn't have the kind of chemistry and doesn't play with the same kind of fluidity on the pitch, whether it's offense or defense. You know what I mean? What is it in your eyes about Nashville? Why it seems like they've done everything right and Miami has not?
So I do want to think. I think we should add. I think we haven't touched on it. The Inter Miami last night was missing. We did touch on it a little bit, but Inter Miami was missing two key center backs. So they had a patchwork defense because their reserve center backs, their substitute center backs, are both out with injury. So Phil Neville had to get a little creative there. And
but I had this feeling last year too, you know. And I know the USL stuff that transferred over with the coach and the philosophy and all of that, but man, they just look like they're so well put. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what I was going to say is, last night Inter Miami looked very disjointed, very sloppy. Spacing between players was off. Spacing between lines was off, especially after they gave up the 6-minute goal. You know, I asked Jay Chapman after the game what the game plan was. I imagine it was to be as defensively solid as you can be, so as to, you know, not give up so many spaces, because if you give up spaces, you know, Nashville has talented players that can punish you. They're known for being a more defensive side, but this year they've shown more things in the attack with the ball. So, you know, Chapman said that their game plan was to try to close down the middle, obviously to make it tough on the opponent, but that went out the window pretty much after 6 minutes, because after 6 minutes now you're down 1-0. Now you have to start chasing the game a little bit. And look, Nashville in comparison is a well-oiled machine. Maybe not the sexiest team at times. Right. Obviously, they don't have the biggest names in Major League Soccer, but they're cohesive.
They embrace their identity. That's what I love.
Absolutely.
And they know who they are, and they play to who they are, and they play well. That's what I like about them.
Absolutely. They're a well-oiled machine. They're a very cohesive team. You saw it yesterday. Even in moments when Inter Miami had sparks in the attack, and it looked like, okay, well, look, here's a dangerous opportunity coming right here. They would take a shot, a player would take a shot, and then somehow, some way, a Nashville player would flick the ball out for a corner kick or block the shot. Like, they just never give up, almost never surrender, and they just don't give up on any play or any ball. They compete for every single one. Inter Miami has not really shown that over these last 2 games. That's why they've lost by a combined score of 9-1. It hasn't been pretty. And you know, Inter Miami's had some really poor losses at home this year. 5-1 against Nashville SC, 4-0 against the New York Red Bulls, 5-0 against the New England Revolution earlier in the year, 3-0 against DC United. There's been some pretty bad performances at home. I think that deserves a deeper analysis, why they struggle more so at home than maybe away, or why they've been beaten in such lopsided fashion at home. I think maybe. And again, you know, I think it deserves a deeper analysis, but I think maybe the fact that you're at home and there's more of an onus to try to take the game to the opponent and look for the 3 points because you're in front of your crowd. And I think maybe that might be playing into it. But look, at the end of the day, this team is, and we've known this since the beginning of the season, you know, the good run of form maybe papered over the cracks a little bit. This team is not a great team. There's a lot of weaknesses, a lot of shortcomings, and a lot of deficiencies. Now, every team has shortcomings, weaknesses, and deficiencies, but Inter Miami has a lot of them, including they're not a very physical team. They're not very physically gifted. They're not very, they're not that big. They're not that fast. Who's the fastest player in the starting lineup on a regular basis? Maybe Lewis Morgan, maybe Robbie Robinson, one of the two. But besides that, there's not a whole lot of speed there. There's not a whole lot of players with a lot of range. So they're very limited in being able to find ways to win games. They still haven't scored off a corner kick this season, and only once off of a free kick. And we're almost we're in the last 9 games of the season now. So very limited team with a lot of shortcomings, and they're starting to manifest themselves again, starting to pop back up again, because obviously the defense could only hold up for so long, especially with how you were playing. So it's a tough situation for Inter Miami. They still have an opportunity. It's still there for them within reach, but they've got to get back to that foundation of being defensively solid, something Phil Neville said last night.
All right, we'll wrap it up with this. Franco Panizo joining us, talking a little Inter Miami football. Last night they lost 5-1 to Nashville. Not that I have any insight, but from afar, it looks like Moss and Beckham had to buy out 2 frustrated owners. Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's hard to imagine that the ownership group would quit this early in the process if they weren't unhappy with something going on. What did you hear? What happened, and why were they forced to buy out the 2 owners?
Well, from what I've read and little things I've heard here and there, is that there's just been differences between Jorge Mas and Marcelo Claure. Now that's just what I've heard. So, and it's what's been reported. They just had differences. Marcelo Claure also was the person that pointed to MLS, that signaled to MLS that Inter Miami had broken the roster rules in 2020. So, maybe they just didn't see eye to eye. And look, maybe this is good, maybe not, I don't know, but maybe it's a good comparison with, Gonzalo Higuain and Rodolfo Pizarro, because initially it was David Beckham and Marcelo Claure that were seen side by side in the initial years of that Miami idea back to MLS, the Miami project. And, they helped make it happen once Jorge Mas came on board, but Jorge Mas had to come on board for it to get across the finish line. And then when Jorge Mas came on board, he's obviously the money man, and sure, maybe that made Claude have to take a step back, similar to Pizarro, and then it just never maybe clicked from there. Claude is a more soccer savvy person because he's been in the business. He has a team in Bolivia, right? So he just naturally has more experience running a team and understanding the game maybe a little bit more. But obviously, if you're not the money man, if you're not calling the shots, then you have to take a seat back. So maybe something like that along those lines happened. They had differences of how to approach things and how to do things. And I mean, at the end of the day, if then on top of that, with the MLS situation, the Matuidi Gate situation, with Claude being the whistleblower or the one that that came up front and said, hey, this is what's going on. Maybe that was just the last straw between that relationship, and they obviously then from there bought him and Masayoshi Son's stakes, because obviously it's not a sustainable or a good relationship for the ownership group. And now it's just the Mosses and David Beckham, and I think that they are looking for minority owners, if I'm not mistaken. I think they are looking for other people to invest a little bit, but it's all in the Moss brothers and Beckham's vision now. See what they do going forward. Obviously, it hasn't been a great start. It's going to be challenging over the next 2 years as well, given the sanctions that they have because of Matuidi Gate, as I like to call it. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for Inter Miami. There's challenges ahead, not only beyond the season, but obviously in this season as well for the team to make the playoffs.
Let's hope so. It's not like Marcelo Claude didn't have an opportunity to do everything himself. He's got enough money, but he chose not to. And so if Moss takes over and he's the money man, he gets to make the calls, man. Let's just hope he can put it together and be. And I know he wants to win badly.
Absolutely.
I know I've been around Jorge enough to know that he wants to win badly. And sadly, they made a lot of bad decisions early on, and that has set them back. Follow him on Twitter at Franco Panizo. Check out the podcast at Miami Total Football. Let's hope the boys improve. My brother, appreciate you as always. Have a great weekend, and I'm sure we'll catch up down the line, talk a little soccer.
All right, brother. Thanks for having me on again.
You got it. There you go. The great Franco Panizo. Follow him, Miami Total Football. All right, let's take a really quick break, and we are going to start our number 3 live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. With many loan programs and competitive rates, now is the time to turn your dreams into reality. Ask about special financing for veterans. They never charge an application fee, and you will work directly with one of their experienced loan professionals. Stop dreaming and contact American Dream Lending today. 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com.
All righty, we are back. Hour number 3, we're ready to go. And look who has joined the party. Eves. Yes, sir. There he is. Eves the Lender. There we go. I like that title. Eves the Lender. He's the one that makes your dreams happen. And right now, man, interest rates is down as low as in the 2s. You got to take advantage. American Dream Lending is the place. adreamlending.com. Eves is the man. He's popping in. What's up, baby? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, Miguel. How about yourself?
I can't complain. We're out here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines having some fun. So
those guys are great over there. At least my wife and MDX like 2 years ago got me a great deal.
Yeah, they are good people. They've been with us for 11 years already, supporting us. So we're about to start our 12th year here at the beginning of the year with them. So they are absolutely amazing people. Always been in our corner for a long, long time. Kind of like what you do, bro. I mean, you know, when people call you and they've got to make their dreams happen and get that condo, that home that they've always wanted, you've got to be there for them too, man, the same way. And you got to come through with some of the best deals out there.
That's it. You know, that's what we try to do. We try to provide a good service. We try to educate our borrowers and our clients so they know exactly what they're getting into. And so they could just be that much better the next time they go get a mortgage out there. And, you know, right now, obviously, everybody knows with house prices continue to surge. There's not enough properties on the market out there. And I know there's a number of buyers out there that want to get their offer accepted. And we really pride ourselves on going above and beyond and making ourselves available to the sellers, to the listing agents, so we can reassure them that, you know, our buyer is going to get to the closing table. And that's what they want to know. The seller wants to know that they're going to close on time. They're going to get to the closing table. So this way they can move on to, you know, their next step in life. And our buyers can move into their next step in life in their old home and now their new home. So we try to do a good job of that and really support our realtor partners out in the field and helping them get their offers accepted as soon as possible. Very important.
Yeah, no, of course. It's I know one of our listeners last week called you, and you're now redoing their mortgage and bringing their rate. I think it's almost like 2% down or something like that. I think doing it. So
rates going down about 2%. You know, yeah. They had spoken to a couple of banks in the past, weren't able to get it done. They heard us on the show, gave us a call. We told them we could do it with their credit score, and now they're on their way.
All right. When you told me it was nearly 2%, that's a lot of money, dude, that they're saving a month, bro. I mean, holy crap, dude. It
was like almost $300 a month.
That's crazy. That's why, folks, you got to call American Dream Lending. Eves will definitely get it done for you, man. As always, we appreciate him there. Eves, you hanging in there with the Dolphins after the loss, my brother?
I'm always hanging in with the Dolphins. It's my town. It's my team. No matter how bad it was against Buffalo, I'm hanging in with the Dolphins. Looking for a rebound this weekend. You know, more surprisingly, my Hurricanes on the other end. What happened to the defense on Saturday? I mean, it's like we forgot how to tackle out there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, man. The Canes, you know, the problem is, dude, when I look at Sundays, I know that on Sundays, Flo has got it going on. Yeah, I know they got their asses kicked this past week and all of that, but I've watched Flo get his teams better as the year goes on. And that's what they've done so far in the first couple of years. I expect him to do that with Manny, bro. I just don't see it, man. You know what I'm saying? I
He's
don't.
a defensive guy. That's a
No.
big issue.
I know, right? I know. It's that's the part that I don't understand, man, because you really need to coach these kids up and put them in positions to be successful. That's part of, like, it's like you have several employees there at American Dream Lending. Dude, if you don't guide them, if you don't help them with their clients and everything else, then it becomes an absolute disaster. There's no chemistry. And that's what I don't see that. See, with the Dolphins, I know Flo's going to get his stuff together, and then all of a sudden, you know, everything will come together and people will play better, because that's what he's shown me the first couple of years. With Manny, this train has been off the track from the get-go, and it doesn't get back on track. There is no organization. And that's my problem right now with the Canes and Manny, is that I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel with Manny. With Flo, I have hope. Saturdays, I have no hope. And I mean, this Saturday, hell, dude, if you don't beat Central Connecticut State, you might as well just, you know, turn it in and give up coaching.
Yeah, just say the whole team has COVID and that's it. You know, forget about it.
Right. Yeah. Basically, that's it. Yeah, it's the way it is, man. It's crazy stuff. All right, so we know that folks can call you. You give them your personal cell number and everything.
All the time.
Give them a reason why they need to call you right now, my friend.
Well, not only do you need to call us because rates are low and you need a house, but we are still giving away $1,000 closing cost credit to all of the Big O listeners and followers out there. So don't hesitate. Give us a call, 305-992-5218. Go to the website, adreamlending.com. You know, let's turn your dream into a reality, and let's win some football games this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. Now, listen, 305-992-5218. One of our listeners, like we just told you last week, they're working on their deal now. They're going to save 2% off and $1,000 on the closing cost.
That's right.
So, you know, think about that. You can do the same thing. You can lower your monthly payment. That way you have more money for vacation, more money for kids' college fund, more money for a new car here at Craig's Inns, Acura Pembroke Pines, more money for you to enjoy some special grilled wings with us this weekend at Sports Grill while we watch the Dolphins kick the Raiders' ass. That's why we want you to call Eves at American Dream Lending, 305-992-5218. He's confident. That's why he gives you his personal cell number, because he can help you. And don't make a mistake calling other companies. 305-992-5218, $1,000 off your closing cost. And who knows what you can save if you're trying to, you know, redo your mortgage, and you might be able to save a couple percentage points. That might be
these are endless, Big O.
Yeah,
they are endless.
They're awesome. All right, looking good, my brother. We will definitely talk next week. We appreciate you as always. And in about 25 minutes, your boy Joe Shad will be joining us with the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly report.
Shad, what do you got for us? Let's get some wins this weekend, guys. Let's go Canes. Let's go Fins, Big O. I always love the show. We'll see you later.
Thank you, Eves. I appreciate you, my man. There you go. Call Eve Sham, man. Good people. I'm telling you, listen, support the people that support us. People want to, you know, bring down their mortgage payments. Call Eves. You're buying a home? Call Eves. You're buying a condo? Call Eves. I'm telling you, 305-992-5218. That's 305-992-5218. Appreciate Eves for joining us here on the program. I like it. Little Thrill Miami Speedboat Adventures. There you go, man. Don't forget 50% off there also. So take advantage of that. Let's see, what else do we have on the chat board there? Let me see. It looks like a lot of you are talking to each other. Dan Marino went in for a routine scope and left with a bone on bone. Marino was furious and had Joe Rose drive him immediately from the hospital to Miami. Next flight out to Pittsburgh. Yeah, Dan played with all kinds of stuff that people don't realize, man. That's why he had to wear all that shit. Let's see. What else do we have here that I wanted to talk about Dolphins-wise? on the show. By the way, the Raiders are favored by 4. The over and under is 45. Dolphins are plus 175. Raiders are minus 210. And I saw where some people want to put already Chris Greer and Brian Flores on the hot seat. And listen, Manny Diaz deserves to be on a hot seat. Manny Diaz hasn't shown a damn thing. One game that went bad doesn't put people on the hot seat. It's just absolutely ridiculous. We're talking about a team that has a winning record since the 0-7 start. They were 10-6 last year. I love how we have people that all of a sudden they forget and don't appreciate what's actually gone on with this team too. And there has been improvement. Hey, are we where we want them to be? Not yet. But they're ahead of schedule. They were last year. Nobody had them winning 10 games in their second year after they tore it down the first year. Some of us got ahead of ourselves, obviously, because I wanted them to go to the playoffs, right? So I get that. And maybe they still can get to the playoffs, but I was kind of confident about that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Some of you out there, it's like me. I'm aggressive, and I still think that they can have a good year, because one of the things that I like about this coach is that this is a coach that can actually make teams better, make his players better, and he's done that 2 years in a row. So that's why when I see what happened on Sunday, I'm not going to panic and freak out. It's a lot like crypto. Sometimes you'll have some corrections, but you don't panic and sell and lose money no, you wait, because those corrections some of them are manipulated by the bulls, but a lot of them, it's kind of part of the process. When you have a meteoric rise or a parabolic rise, there's going to be a correction. And maybe that's what happened. There was a little bit of a correction this week, and boys have to adjust. They got to figure things out. You played one of the best teams in the league. You're not there yet. You're challenging for a playoff spot. You're not challenging for a Super Bowl position. That's where Buffalo is at. Buffalo is the only team right now in the AFC that I feel can challenge Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl. That's the honesty. I don't expect Miami to be that team this year, but I do think Miami can get to the playoffs this year. And even with Jacoby Brissett this week, they can win. But to think that somebody's going to be on the hot seat because of one game, that's ridiculous, dude. It's silly. And it's not, some people are painting this like these guys are completely incompetent. Incompetence is what you see in Coral Gables. Incompetence is what you saw with Cam Cameron. That's incompetence. Incompetence is watching Al Golden. That's incompetence. This here, it's not incompetence. This is a team that's just developing, and we've got to give them a little time to kind of figure all this crap out, man. I just wish we had a little bit more patience for all of this. I just wish we would give this and not overreact after one game, give up on players. After one game, we're going to give up on the quarterback. Although with Tua, I don't think it's one game. I think there's lots of you that you weren't convinced already as it is. And after watching Herbert, which it's so convenient because most everybody wanted Tua. Very few people really wanted Herbert. And now it sounds like 98% of you wanted Herbert, and only 2% of you are willing to admit that you wanted Tua. I wanted Tua, man. And even with Herbert, I'm still not there yet. Just like I'm not ready to give up on Tua, I'm not ready to give Herbert the Hall of Fame, or that he's arrived, or that he's elite, or that he's a franchise guy. He has all the tools to be a franchise guy easily. Size, arm, athleticism, He's got that. There's no doubt about it. Still got to see him actually lead and win. I've seen a lot of guys that can put up stats, but they don't win. That's the part I haven't seen from this guy. I haven't watched him win yet. When I see him win, then I'm going to feel a little better about the situation. But at the moment, I haven't watched the man win. So that to me is, part of this issue right now. That's why the funny part to me is that people would say, "Well, no, you're already on the hot seat." How can you be on the hot seat when you've done a lot of good things and you haven't even been given a clean opportunity to actually prove yourself? First year, you cleaned out. Second year, you won 10 games, and now we're going to give up on somebody in their second game of a 17-game season. And I know how this works. If these guys turn it around and they have a great season, we'll never hear from the people that put them on a hot seat. They'll never, "Oh, you know what, man, I gave up on Greer. I was wrong. Oh, I gave up on Flo. I was wrong. I gave up on Tua. I was wrong." It's really safe to complain and point fingers with very little substance. And, of course, also, nobody is tracking what you're doing. That's the other thing that people can see. All right. Remember, if you want to get in, let me read some of the texts, because I know you guys have sent in some texts. 855-912-1056. I've been reading the YouTube page. Haven't read the text enough. Joe Shad will join us at the bottom of the hour. Let me see here. Love the show. If you were to get on I-95 and head north, and by north, I mean when you see the sign before the last exit before Canada, you better take it. Then travel another hour north, U.S. Route 1. That's where my fanhood comes from. Born in 73, a Dolphins fan. As long as I can remember, for years, my Super Bowl has been beating the Patriots. So to quote Aaron Rodgers, relax, Fins fans. Trust the process. Thanks, Crisp. Appreciate it. Appreciate you, Crisp. Thank you, my brother, listening to us out there in Canada. That is very nice. Very nice. Appreciate you. And a lot of people just don't show patience, man. That's part of what we were just talking about. They just give up on people. Big O, found your show. Love you from Rochester. Keep up the good work. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Make sure your CBD has a small percentage of THC in it. Won't get you high, but will enhance the effects of CBD for pain and sleep. You know what? I'll check it today and I'll tell you, but I've been impressed, very impressed with that product. What's the deal with Fuller? Did he practice yesterday? Yes, he did. Is he practicing today? We need him to help open up the passing game since he can blow the top off the defense. By the way, in crypto, look at Mina Protocol, world's lightest blockchain. Okay. I will check it out. Who sells it? Who carries Mina? I gotta do my homework, but I'll check it out. What up, O? Send a shout out to anyone that knows if the Fins event in Vegas and Tommy and Hialeah. Well, NorCal just said that everybody's meeting over at the Vegas sign. Let me see. God, now I got to find that text from NorCal about the Vegas sign. I don't even know if it's still here at this point because so many have come in. So there's so many texts coming in that I just can't keep up with all of them. But there's been a lot. So he said, I forgot, NorCal, if you're watching, 5 p.m. Look, he's watching. 5 p.m. Vegas sign. All the Dolphin fans are going to meet there. There you go. So you got that. Remember, 5 p.m. Vegas. All right. So meet up there. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O, just found your show. I'm Frank DiStefano. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I got big balls, the size of grapefruits. You have bigger balls than me or not giving up on Tua. I haven't given up on Tua either. John Santos from Stewart. Well, there you go. I guess it takes big balls not to give up. Hey, just all you got to do is invest in the crypto market. And a couple months ago, when you watch your portfolio go down about 55%, that's when you'll know if you've got a pair or not. Because a couple months ago, the portfolio went down about 55%. And I'm like, whoa, I am losing a lot of money. But you know what I did? I bought more and more. Because you buy the effing dip is what you do in crypto. You don't flinch, okay? If Ethereum wants to drop back down to 1,800, I'm buying. If Cardano wants to get down to $1.95, $1.05, I'm buying. VeChain got down to 5-6 cents, I'm buying. You know, that's what happened. That's why I took advantage of it. I mean, like I told you, my first bag of Cody, I got it at 18 cents. It's at 45 now. But I know it's going to go much higher. It's tied to the Cardano, what's it called? What's that word? Ecosystem. And so it's part of the ecosystem of Cardano. And now that Cardano is going to have this major event now on the 25th and the 26th. And they're going to announce some big news. And now that the smart contracts are kicking in and they're kind of easing them in too. They're not like overloading like what happened to Solana just recently, that they overloaded and had too many transactions and it bogged them down. So all these things, this is part of doing your homework and knowing what's coming. You know what I mean? That's why I told you about BitTorrent, because at the end of October, they had Layer 2. They've teamed up with Tron. Tron has 4 times the transactions that PayPal has. So Tron's blockchain going on with BitTorrent, and then BitTorrent is going to now grow, and eventually in the next couple of years, that's why it's really cheap right now. That's why you want to take advantage and get it under a penny. And then once it hits the penny mark, then it's going to start soaring. And you're going to, at least that's what I think. I'm only a sports guy. That's all I do. Okay? I just love crypto. But that's kind of part of the game, man. Can't flinch, baby. Can't flinch. Got to be strong. Jacoby, screw up Sinet. It to win, baby. Okay. Wilkins is a miss. He's okay from where he was picked. He's a disappointment so far. I get what you're saying. That, yeah, he's been solid, but he hasn't been worthy of the top 5 pick. I get what you're saying. He's not the dominant force that you were hoping for. You're right about that. I can't argue with that one. We need to get rid of Greer. The idiot built the worst O-line in the NFL, and how does he mess up 3 first-rounders? Well, there you go. Those are the people that have already given up on everybody. Let's see. What else do we have here? Now, oh, man. Here we go. Back to the inbox. I appreciate the way you keep everything real, and you're absolutely right. We have to be patient with this young team. I really believe in the coaching staff. Go Fins. That's all, man. Appreciate you, Frank. Thank you for chiming in and giving us a little love here on the chat, on the text line. Remember, the text line is 855-912-1056. What Alan said is right. They need to just let Jalen Phillips to put his hand in the ground and go after the QB. Otherwise, he's going to continue to play confused and lost, and that's the recipe for a young player like Phillips to lose his confidence. Dude, if he loses his confidence because of that, then he's not the player you think he is. I mean, you have the skill set to play outside linebacker. They play a 3-4. His body is not built to play a 3-4 end. You understand that, right? I'll give you the reverse of it. Gregory Rousseau is actually perfect to play end in a 3-4. He's big, strong. Now, he may not get as many sacks as you want from a 3-4 because he's going to face a lot of double teams at times. But if he plays in a natural 4-3 like what Buffalo has, then that opens it up for him, and he's going to get more one-on-ones. And with his strength, this is a guy that can blow things up. You understand? So it's that's why they didn't pick Gregory Rousseau, because they needed a guy that's an outside linebacker / defensive end. And you have to have the skill sets to be able to play both. So if they want you to chase the quarterback, you can chase the quarterback. If you're strong enough to hold the point, then you do that for the run. If they need you to drop back and pass, you're athletic enough to do it. Now, here's the problem, sir. You sound like you're frustrated and you're giving up on Jaelan Phillips. Jaelan Phillips can't give up on himself. If he believes in himself, then he'll find a way to get it done and figure out how to play. Now, you got to give him some time to actually fail. So you can find out, okay, he doesn't fit this. Now we got to bulk him up and play him as an end or something along those lines, if you're going to play him in a 3-4. But this is his second game. How are we complaining about somebody in his... you guys would have trashed the hell out of Jason Taylor. A lot of you probably weren't around when Jason Taylor was a rookie. Or you were too damn young to watch Jason Taylor play. Jason Taylor wasn't a dominant force early on, and he got banged up quite a bit, but that's part of the process. It takes guys a little while sometimes to kind of figure it out and become that. Pat Surtain was a bust his first year because he couldn't take the field. No, he's just a rookie. That's all. He wasn't ready to take the field yet in his first year. Give him a little time to grow. He became one of your greatest corners of all time for the Miami Dolphins. Class act too, by the way. Some of you have this, I don't know, this selective memory, I guess. Or some of you are really young and you probably don't have a lot of history watching football, and you don't know about players that actually did not hit early on in their careers and then they figured it out after. There's a lot of players like that. And so many of you have given up on a bunch of linemen that are in their second year. And a lot of you have given up on a quarterback that's played 10 games. And some of you are questioning a defensive end that's played 2 games. And he hasn't even played a lot of downs in those 2 games. We gotta just, I don't know what it is, but somehow or another, we've got to develop some patience. And it just seems like most of you don't have it. It's GP Trap sending me pictures of the coach. Also, do you believe we need a veteran O-lineman? Do you listen to the show every day? Talked about this a couple days ago. I said I think the Dolphins messed up in too many young linemen. They probably needed to do a better job of sprinkling in veteran linemen. The problem is, what do you do now? What's out in the street is And what are you going to do, trade? And then they know you're so desperate that you got to overpay. You might have to just suck it up and move on. That's all. That's what you're probably going to have to do. Suck it up and move on. Let's see what else is going on the text line, which, remember, 855-912-1056. Big O, do you think we need to look for more veteran leadership? No. Let me ask you something. How much veteran leadership was on the team in 2019 when they went 0-7, and then they went 5-4 after that in the last 9 games? Or is it maybe about coaching and figuring things out, and then you can get in some kind of a groove? What do you think, sir? What do you think about that? It wasn't like last year you're also loaded with a ton of veterans too. So I think it was the youngest team in the NFL, or one of the second youngest or something. This year they're like in the middle of the pack, but they're like 12th or 14th or something. But there's not much of a difference between 12 and 14 in the top 5 in the amount of years that there is. So in the first year, you had practically no leadership, no veteran leadership. Remember, your best player was injured in X. And yet somehow you went 5-4 and you won in New England with no leadership. See what I'm saying? The problem is you're already freaking out after the second game and you're grasping for straws. Some of you want to trade for people. Some of you want to cut people. Some of you want to fire people. Some of you are already changing up everything. Like you need veterans or something like that. That's not the case, man. What you need to do is give them actually some time to develop. That would make a lot of sense if you gave them some time to develop. But if you want everything to happen overnight, it's just unrealistic, man. It just is. And it's kind of like a broken record having to constantly repeat the patience thing and pointing out why we're overreacting and then giving you examples why you shouldn't overreact because they've shown you. Like I tell the person that's overreacting that you're 1-1, and I tell you they figured it out when their first year when they went 0-7, and they figured it out last year when they went 0-2 and then went 10-4. You know what I mean? That's the crazy part. By the way, Joe Schad is going to join us on the other side. We are going to get to our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly report. Don't forget, Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. You see the number there, 305-371-FAST. Hey, during this week and next week, only weekdays, no weekends, 50% off for Florida residents. Just take your ID, baby, and you can get 50% off. And you can see Miami in style and speed like you've never seen it before. Listen, I don't have the money to go buy myself a nice speedboat, but we all have just a little bit of money so we can take a little thrill ride with Thrill Miami, and you can check out Miami like you've never seen it before. Make sure you mention the show. Check it out. Call them, 305-371-FAST. Thriller Miami Speedboat Adventures. We're coming to you live from Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We've been doing it here for 11 years. Great people, great selection, large inventory right now. Whether you're looking for certified pre-owned, whether you're looking for brand new vehicles, Larry Schlossberg and the boys will make you a great deal. Make sure you mention that you got it right here on the show at Big O Radio Show. Let's take a quick break. Back with Joe Schad and the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
This is the Big O Show.
There's many ways to support our program, from subscribing and liking the show to visiting our terrific sponsors. Another way is using Cash App. If you would like to donate to the show and help us grow, download Cash App and search Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. We appreciate your support as we continue to build the best sports show on the planet for South Florida sports fans. Support the Big O Show by using Cash App and donate to Cash Big O Show. Thank you for your incredibly loyal support.
This is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Dolphins fans, Dolphins fans, buckle up. It's time for the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Report with Joe Shad. When you're ready to purchase a new home or refinance the one you have, American Dream Lending will make sure your loan experience is easy with fast approvals and quick closings. Call them at 786-802-1727 or online at adreamlending.com. Here's Joe Shad with today's edition of the American Dream Lending Report.
We're back, and we promised you Joe Shad and our American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins weekly report. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Joe Shad. Remember to call Eves. The owner is giving you his cell number, 305-992-5218. You get $1,000 off your closing costs when you call Eves right now. $1,000 credit towards your closing costs. 305-992-5218. Save it on that cell phone. Joe, how you doing, my friend? You feeling good?
Good, Big O. Doing well out here at Dolphins camp, waiting for the players.
All right, so walk us through. What have you seen on the offensive line? What's been the lineup? What did you see? What can you tell us?
Yeah, those days are over, Big O. They don't show us anything.
Damn it. So all you get to see is men stretching? That's it? Is that all they do for you?
Yeah, basically. I mean, look, common sense tells you that if Jesse Davis is healthy enough to start at right tackle, that his experience will allow him to remain at right tackle. Common sense tells you that Austin Jackson, the franchise is not ready to give up on at this point in time. They need to give him at least a few more starts to figure out if, in fact, he has a chance to be the franchise's starting left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe you make a change at left guard. Obviously, Liam Eichenberg has practiced there since his arrival. It would be an interesting situation for Liam, who we're going to catch up with in a short time here. He played left tackle at Notre Dame. He was drafted to be the Dolphins' right tackle.
That's right.
In the first game, he played at left tackle. And then in the second game, he played at right tackle. And now in the third game, he might play at left guard. So all over the place, man. It's certainly not easy, even though having gone to Notre Dame, I'm sure he's a smart guy.
Yeah, and so what you're telling us, he's ready to take over for Jesse Davis in the future and just be the floater. Okay. All right, we got that. No, seriously.
Well, the Dolphins
I'm joking, ladies and gentlemen. Relax out there. I'm joking, okay, just in case, because I know the draft capital they traded for the young man and everything, so I get it. They've got high hopes for the part. Look, I've been trying to walk people off the ledge, Joe, because people are just jumping off left and right. The season's over. Fire Chris Grier, fire Flo, this, that. And look, there are things I disagree with. Listen, nobody's a bigger Jakeem Grant fan than I am, but I'm the first guy to tell you that I love Jakeem Grant as a returner. I thought because you had all these receivers now, you don't have to use him at wide receiver. I thought it was dumb of the coaching staff to count on him. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense to me. And you put him out there, and guess what happened? You got burned. And when I look at Matt Collins, and I'm going, you're playing Albert Wilson, and you're playing Jakeem Grant over Matt Collins? That guy's been proving since last year till now that he's gotten better as a football player, reliable, a bigger body, and he's been consistent with his hands. Why not play that guy? So there are decisions that, look, in hindsight now, they have to be regretting this, Joe. Way too many young linemen in front of a fragile quarterback. That's, I talked with Omar about this earlier in the week. This reminds me of Andrew Luck. You draft Andrew Luck and then you allow him to take a beating instead of building the wall of Montezuma. And that guy's built like a redwood tree. This kid's not. How did you draft this kid and put a rookie line in front of him? That part there, that's one thing that I have to question for the front office and the coaching staff. That where did you think that was going to actually work out? That's been bad planning.
These aren't schleps. You got Austin Jackson was drafted in the first round. Liam Eichenberg was drafted in the second round. Michael Dieter was drafted in the third round. Solomon McKinley was drafted in the fourth round. These are not, these guys are supposed to be really good.
But not all at once, Joe. Nobody does that. Nobody does that in the NFL.
Yeah, but if the Dolphins had signed David DeCastro, maybe that would have been okay on a 1-year deal. But that's the kind of thing that the Dolphins did for years around here, signing guys who were well past their prime. So I understand the concept that all these guys are supposed to grow up together.
It sounds great in theory, but the problem is you'd like to have only breaking in maybe 2 of those guys, 3 max. You'd like to have at least 2 to 3 veterans there so these guys can look at somebody.
Well, it's supposed to be Jesse Davis. He's got a bad knee. Jesse Davis is not a terrible football player. He's a lot worse with a bad knee.
No, he's solid, but I like him more as a 6-man than as a starter.
It's hard for him to go against speed rushers. I am worried about this Yannick Ngakoue, even though he's got a little hamstring injury. All right, that guy's pretty darn athletic.
Yeah,
and him against Jesse Davis and/or Austin Jackson is cause for concern.
And Mad Max is a cause for concern too.
He's like a power guy, though, right? The Dolphins rush tackles do better against power rushers than pure speed rushers. I don't know. Is Crosby fast? I guess he's a complete defensive end.
Yeah, no, he's a maniac is how he plays. So yeah, that guy, both of them are going to be a pain in the ass for Miami. And going back to Austin Jackson, I'm with you that you got to give him time, but I almost, when coach was kind of signaling him out and said, no, he's got to play better, I almost felt like there's Dean Wormer telling you you're on double secret probation. And I almost feel like, yeah, you're going to give him time, but I get the sense that he's running out of patience with Austin at times. Do you get that same feeling?
Who wouldn't? I mean, yeah, of course. But, Noah Igbenogany hasn't even played in the first 2 games, and he's a first rounder. So
yeah,
this is
but
very,
he
very.
But he can't.
He can't. Well, they drafted him in the first round. So if they missed on Igbenogany and Jackson, that is a big problem for anyone who was involved in that decision. Those decisions.
Yes. But that problem with that decision, there's like multiple levels of that problem. One, he's an outside guy, not a slot guy. Okay. So maybe you drafted him while you were having issues with X and all that stuff, and you were thinking, hey, man, we don't know how this is going to – let's protect ourselves. But then the problem is the only way that kid will ever get better is to play him. But you can't play him because you've got Jones and X. So now it's a catch-22. You probably drafted him more as an insurance policy to protect yourself, which is great foresight in one sense, but you'll never find out about him if you can't play him. And in a way, Igbenogany needs to be like on a terrible team where they can play him every week and let him learn and let him make his mistakes. But this is not the team. This is a team that's coming off 10 wins. So they're trying to win. They're trying to get to a playoffs. So they're not going to play him over any of the 2 guys that they have on the boundary.
But it's not just the 2 guys.
Tough.
It's not just the 2 guys. He's like the 6th or 7th corner. The Dolphins are telling you they would rather, in the case of an injury to X or Byron, knock on wood, they would rather play Nick Needham, Jason McCourty, Justin Coleman, Jamal Perry.
But that's
those guys are all ahead of Igbenogany.
The Perry thing's more of a special teams thing.
Yeah, well, they are making a choice that the difference between Jamal Perry and Noah Igbenogany on special teams is bigger than the difference between Noah Igbenogany and any of the aforementioned corners, which is alarming.
Not really. It's not alarming that he can't play in front of Needham at this point in time or McCourty. Those are experienced corners. This kid was a receiver.
First rounder.
I understand, but he's still a baby. He's a receiver when he got to Auburn. He has not been playing corner. He does not think and act like a corner right now. He needs to develop those instincts that he just does not have right now. So you'd be doing him a disservice and your team by playing him in front of guys that are experienced and been playing corner their entire careers. That's why I'm saying that they did make a mistake right now on him in the sense of you drafted a guy you can't play to develop. And that's a real problem right now because like you just said, it's a first round pick. He's in his 2nd year and you're never going to find out about the kid because there's no space to play him anywhere right now. And if you play him, you're hurting him and you're hurting yourself right now because he has no experience. So I get it.
I guess we can look ahead and forecast training camp 2022. The 9-8 Dolphins have an open competition between Noah Igbenogany and Nick Needham, with X having moved on.
Oh, okay. Now you got me there. Okay, because I was going slot. No, not slot.
The Dolphins having moved on from Byron Jones.
That's yes. I think one of those. Oh wow. I didn't see that one coming. I could see them moving on from X because they can get a boatload of picks, and they don't know when that knee is going to give out. So I can kind of understand that one. Byron Jones.
Boatload? I mean, you're going to get 2 1s. Is any team going to give up 2 1s?
I don't know. They could, or at least a 1 and a 2, or maybe a 1, 2, and a 3. I don't know.
Maybe they can put him in the Deshaun Watson trade, and then the Texans can flip him.
That might be something, because then you give up less picks by giving him to them. Yeah, you're right.
I agree with you. We're only 2 games in to a 17-week season. Brian Flores' staff has shown you in the first 2 years that they do improve throughout the year. Yeah. It is concerning that Chan Gailey called as many touchdowns on Sunday as both of the Dolphins' co-offensive coordinators. See what I did there?
Because they scored no touchdowns? No, they called the touchdown. It's Devontae Parker didn't want to hang on to it. Okay. They called the touchdown. Okay. They called the play. And thanks to Albert Wilson and Jakeem Grant, they screwed up another drive. Jacoby Brissett did his job. The offensive coordinators did their job in the first half. They should have either been tied or leading at halftime based on the coordinators and the quarterback. It's everybody else that failed them at that point. I can't blame the coordinators for last week, at least early on. The second half was a complete, utter disaster at that point. But what are you going to do, dude? I mean, it was a perfect play call. Parker had it right.
So yeah, you make a good point, and I was just making a little joke there about the Dolphins not having scored a touchdown.
I get it, but it's
now 2 things, two sides to this coin. All right, on the one hand, it is a little concerning that the Dolphins didn't score a point in the second game with new offensive coordinators, and it is a little concerning that the coaches have taken some of the burden of responsibility for all those offensive free rushers. Now, Jesse Davis said yesterday the scheme is fine. We just didn't execute it. All right. But I do believe that the Godsey-Stoodsville combination and the Dolphins offense will improve throughout the year. If it doesn't, they'll obviously both be gone.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt. And there were things that I disagreed with last week, which, like I told you, and I hope this week that Will Fuller is back in the mix. You're not counting on Albert Wilson and you're not counting on Jakeem Grant anymore as a wide receiver. That's why I was so excited for Jakeem this year. You didn't have to use him at wide receiver. You can leave him be what he is, an elite returner. Leave him there, let him do his thing, and go use the other guys that are more than capable of being a wide receiver. But you got any hunches there or anything that they're going to use Matt Collins instead of Albert Wilson? I know Fuller's going to be active, but
there are certain packages that Matt Collins is suited for. In particular, when the quarterback's helmet is being wrapped around the guy's head, and it's late in the game, and you're in Las Vegas, and you're over on the sideline. That's the Matt Collins package. He's real good at that.
So we're back in Vegas this week, right?
Yeah,
so
we are. Get out there tomorrow, Big O.
So his package is going to be out there. Okay.
The special Matt Collins package. Maybe a little goal line, maybe a little third down, maybe a little run blocking. Matt Collins is a captain for a reason, Big O.
I like
But listen, it needs to be Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, and more Mike Gesicki. Okay, and more Myles Gaskin, because the Dolphins have not gotten any traction in the running game, really. And a little more Miles on Sunday.
Yeah, and I thought we saw a lot less Eric Rowe this past week because Buffalo is not really strong at tight end. I would imagine this week with Waller, we're going, and maybe I would bracket his ass with Waller and Holland. I mean, with Rowe and Holland. I would bracket that dude, and then leave the corners one-on-one with the rest of the dudes. But that guy, I don't know. What do you think? How do you defend Darren Waller? Because
they didn't do it last year.
I know it's impossible.
Rowe said earlier in the offseason that he's specifically looking forward to the rematch. We love Eric Rowe. He's a good guy. He's a good player, and he's not afraid to give you an interesting comment. You know, a lot of guys around here are kind of worried. Eric doesn't seem to be too worried. It is interesting that last week it was Jason McCourty chasing a Bills tight end into the end zone, Knox. Rowe is not on the field for that play. So, look, McCourty's a former corner. He's got just as good a chance against that Knox tight end Bills guy as Rowe. But, you know, I think we might talk to McCourty and Rowe. We talked to Holland recently. We talked to Brandon Jones yesterday. How many NFL teams can trot out 4 safeties to media availability in a given week? That's a lot of safeties.
Yeah. Well, this is the kind of team that likes, you know, their safeties to have cover skills, and so they become a bigger part of their defense because they're so multiple at times. So yeah, I can see why they do that. But Waller to me is definitely one of the keys of this game, and I almost feel like anybody that covers that guy is going to need help because he's a beast. And it's like covering Kelsey and what's the name of the kid over in San Francisco? Kittle. Those guys are a pain in the ass, bro. Those guys are dominant forces, man. They're impossible to cover for anybody.
Derek Carr has transformed into Ryan Tannehill-like way. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it with my own eyes in Las Vegas, all right? I've never been a big Derek Carr guy. I know he's got a lot of yards and a high completion percentage through 2 games. I'm putting my money on Josh Boyer over Derek Carr this week. Now, I'm not saying the Dolphins are going to win. I'm just saying at the end of the game, I think we're going to be stopping. We're going to stop saying, oh, Derek Carr is a new guy. He's not a new guy. I am looking forward to watching Kenyon Drake.
He never gets a starting job anywhere, huh? No matter what.
Well, Josh Jacobs is hurt, so this might be a little chance for him.
I know, but he was a free agent, and yet with all the things that he has shown, nobody ever steps up. Before I let you go, you brought something up interesting, and you talked about Derek Carr. In a way, that's kind of how I feel about Justin Herbert right now. He looks great, no doubt. He can throw it a mile. He's putting up some stats. He hasn't beaten any quality teams at all since last year and this year. And he threw a nice, ugly interception at the end of the game. I still need to see, for all the people that are so in love with the kid, and I get it, because he's great on the all-runway team, I have yet to see him be the difference maker against a good team. In fact, they haven't beaten a good team yet on last year's schedule or this year so far. And he had a chance against Dallas this past week. Not that necessarily they're a good team, but, it is what it is.
I hate to put it to you so simply, but yes or no, Big O, given the opportunity today to trade Tua Tagovailoa, Austin Jackson, and Noah Igbenogany to the Chargers for Justin Herbert, what would be your answer?
I still say no. I'm not ready to give up on these guys. It's only look, dude, his wins last year, Carolina, Denver, the Raiders, lost to Miami. Okay. His wins, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, the Jets, Atlanta, the Raiders, Denver, KC with Chad Henne. His losses, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Buffalo, New England.
Yeah, but most I get your point. It's an interesting point.
And Tua outplayed him with less of an offensive line and less wide receivers in that game.
You're a very glass half full guy.
I'm just not
always this way, Big O. Did you have a near-death experience? What has happened to you?
I am just not ready to give up on these young men when they just
happened
got in the damn league, dude.
Something happened to you. Something
No,
happened.
nothing's happened to me. Look, I there's things that I've been critical of. I'm not big on 4 rookie linemen in front of your fragile quarterback. That's not good planning. That's just not good planning, bro. I don't give a shit what anybody tells me. I don't care what Flo tells me or anybody else or Chris or anybody else out there. You don't put 4 rookies in front of a fragile quarterback. I used to get pissed at Indianapolis for what they did to Andrew Luck because you're an idiot. You drafted one of the ultimate talents at quarterback in the last 20 years, and you allowed him to take a beating to a point that he said, I'm done with you guys, bro. I'm done with you guys. And you did the same thing here. And this past week, I was very critical. How in the F are you playing Jakeem Grant at wide receiver? Have you not learned your lesson yet? And you keep throwing him the ball? Those offensive coordinators need to be called out, and so does Flo. And then Albert Wilson, you and I have talked about this. I've talked with Alan. I've talked with Omar. He doesn't deserve to be on the team. Why? Because he ran around for 10 days in shorts? The guy has accomplished squat in this league. He has 700 yards in 2 years with the Dolphins. He's never caught more than 4 touchdowns in a season. Why in the hell are you counting on Albert Wilson? No one's ever counted on Albert Wilson.
He's a gadget player. He's Jakeem Grant, but more trustworthy. Listen, I got to run, but the next time we talk, I'm going to try to have a better light, all right? I'm totally aware
You're fine, bro.
how
You're fine.
poor my light. No, it's a very poor lighting job by me. All right,
You're fine, bro. I love you. You're fine.
I did not have good execution on the lighting today. So
But it was
I'll
great
try
talk.
to be better next time.
But it was great talk, and that's all that matters.
All I see
right?
is teeth.
All right,
See you,
brother.
bud.
Love you, brother. There you
See
go.
ya.
Joe Shad and the American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins Insider Report. Always getting it done. We always appreciate it. I'm just not, I can be critical of some things, but I'm not going to give up on young people just like that. I just can't do that, man. And the whole Justin Herbert thing, I get it. He looks great. Dude, show me something. Look, a lot of you have fallen in love again with Ryan Tannehill. Dude can't win anything when Derrick Henry's not running the ball. If Derrick Henry's not running the ball, the guy is done. So I don't care. His stats that he puts up, they don't mean anything to me. Because when push comes to shove and you got to put your big boy pants on and your left tackle's out or your running game's out or whatever, you got to figure out a way to score points. And he can't do it in clutch moments. So I get it. Noah doesn't look good now. Austin looks terrible. I get it. Tua's injured. So it's really easy to lean over to Justin Herbert. But I still say, what has he done so far? He's put up stats. So did Jeff George. He put up stats too. He looked great. He had a great arm, bro. If you played fantasy, you didn't mind having Jeff George. Did you want Jeff George on your reality team? No. No, you didn't want him on your reality team. And that's kind of what he was just saying about Derek Carr right now, that he doesn't buy Derek Carr because he thinks Derek Carr will fold like a cheap tent. So until I actually see Justin Herbert ball out against a really good team and be the difference maker in the fourth quarter and drive them for some game-winning drives, then I'll tell you they screwed up. But for now, he's on the all-runway team. He hasn't shown me anything. Last week he had an opportunity. Boom. Terrible interception at the end of the game. The easiest thing right now is to say, of course they screwed up. You have to take Justin. Forget the 3 first-round picks. They're all screw-ups. They'll never make it. That's the easiest thing to do. Because that's what it looks like right now. But we haven't even seen Justin Herbert play several seasons and in clutch moments. I've watched players that can put up stats and they don't get it done. And there's plenty of those in the league that I've seen over the years. And there's one currently right now in Tennessee putting up a bunch of stats, but never is the difference maker without that hog in the back. Without the dude in the back, he doesn't get it done. He doesn't even come close. He can never get it done. Andy Dalton every year would put up 3,000-4,000 yards, throwing it up to A.J. Green. Who the hell wants the red rifle? Give me a break, dude. Jake Delhomme put up a lot of stats too. And then when the push came to shove, here you go, interception city. Plenty of people I've watched over the years put up stats. Stats, okay. I'm impressed. You put up stats. Show me that you can actually lead a team and be a difference maker. Then I'm impressed. So I get it, man. Easiest thing is to bail out on everything that's going on. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that. I'll give up on you when I've seen enough of you. I've seen enough of Manny Diaz. I've seen enough of Flo to believe in him because that's what he's shown me the first 2 years. And this year, he's only 1-1. But we act like he's 0-. Well, now some of you act like he's 0-7 after losing to Buffalo, like it's over. Raphael says, like you said, Big O, can't give up on young guys. Herbert, exactly. I haven't said that he's a failure, but I'm not going with he's a big success either. That's my point. Until I see what I need to see from the quarterback, then I don't believe in him. Then he's just another game manager, a really athletic game manager. $32 out of 32 GMs make the trade Shad was talking about without a second thought. Big O has become delusional on this QB issue. Okay, I'm delusional. That's fine. When the dude starts winning big games, then I'll say they screwed up. That's it. Hey, listen, man, the one thing that I was afraid of with Tua just happened. That was the one thing that I just did not trust in him is his durability. So what do you want me to tell you? I need to see more from everybody. I need to see more from I'm pretty consistent on it, right? I'm not going overboard on Herbert, and I'm not giving up on Tua. It's consistent because I haven't seen enough from either guy. I want to see Herbert getting knocked around, no running game, down by 10, fourth quarter starts, and he drives them for 2 scores, and they win the game against a quality team. I want to see adversity. I just read you who he beats. He beats crappy teams. He never beats the good teams. So he needs to start beating the good teams. Since he's such a stud, right? He needs to beat the good teams. When he starts beating the good teams, then I'm telling you, all right, there you go. You guys are right. He screwed up. And you know what I love is that all I see on the board pretty much, or people checking in, is all the people that are now on the Herbert bandwagon, which that was like impossible to find a year and a half ago. It's amazing how many of you have probably changed your minds. Big O, I remember us complaining about the broken hip before last year's draft. Yeah, that's what did I say last year? Remember? I didn't want him to play till November. I wasn't agreeing with them playing at the beginning of the year. Hey, look, I'll complain about some things that there's a track record. Okay? Jakeem Grant cannot catch as a wide receiver. That the track record is there. Why the hell are you using him again? So I got to slam Flo and the damn coordinators for that one. Like, what the hell's wrong with you people? Use somebody else that can actually catch the ball. Keep Jakeem what he is. And then the whole Albert. How many of you out there were in love with Albert Wilson? I was wrong, right? Because he ran around for 10 days. Where are all of you out there, by the way, that were all on the Albert Wilson thing? Where are the apologies? Where are you? Because I didn't keep track of you, but a hell of a lot of you wanted Albert Wilson. Oh, you're crazy. You're wrong. You're this. You're that. Didn't you see him? See what? Same thing. Herbert, nice stats. What? What are they? But you fell in love with the FUD like they do in crypto, that they get scared by the FUD and they sell. Same thing here. There was a ton of FUD about Albert Wilson. Show me. Where are you? Where are all the people that wanted Albert Wilson? That all said I was wrong, that he's a playmaker. Where are you? Come on, there's nearly 200 people on the chat. Step up. Let's go. I want to hear it. That's the problem. I'm here every day, right or wrong. A lot of you, you're like the kid that hides behind the trees and you throw rocks and you hit a car and you disappear. Same thing. Bunch of you wanted Albert Wilson. You all thought I was crazy, right? Maybe I'm crazy about Justin Herbert right now, but I still have not seen anything except what looks like one heck of a physical talent. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to ever argue that. Dude looks like a physical freak. And guess what? Jeff George had one of the 5 greatest arms in the history of the NFL. I don't want him anywhere near my football team. So I need to see real performances. Just like Albert Wilson. A bunch of you fell in love with Albert Wilson. For what? What the hell has he ever done in his career that you'd fall in love with that guy? Oh, he ran around for 10 days in shorts with the Miami Dolphins. That makes him a player. Albert Wilson looked good under Adam Gase. He's never scored more than 4 touchdowns, Tuttle. He has just over 700 yards in 2 years. What is that looking good? Why? Because he had a game or something? Willie Burton scored 51 points also in a game. Please, give me a break. Albert Wilson's done nothing. Did he catch 1,200 yards? Did he do something in a playoff game? Did he burn good corners on a consistent basis? Show me something. Nothing. So I want to hear that. I don't hear anybody there. There, NorCal, I was wrong about Albert Wilson, but I blame good weed. There you go. At least he came forward. Ray says, I hear a lot of crickets. Of course you'll hear crickets, because that's how it is. If I'm wrong, you'll let me know. But if you're wrong, I don't know. I'm out of here. We thank Larry Schlossberg and the great people here at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. Hey, great selection right now. Whether it's new cars, whether it's certified pre-owned, they got a great selection out here. So come on out to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. And also great deals on financing too. So make it nice and easy for all of you to own a great vehicle. I love you all, whether you super chatted, Cash App, Venmo, all that good stuff. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of you. Remember, smash the like button and admit to yourselves that Albert Wilson isn't anything special. We'll see you tomorrow.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.